Simon, I accidentally didn't press the right fade. Get ready for the new fade. There's fire.
Low fire, and the laptop is on fire.
Yeah. I did
The
the wrong...
roof. The roof.
All right, okay. Hello. Welcome to Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. It's Monday. Oh my God, it's such an exciting day. I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Simon Speckles himself. Hello, Simon.
Hello, it's Christmas.
It's the start of a brand new day. Now, I'm really ill with the flu, so this might get real weird. We do have a guest arriving in 20 or 30 minutes
The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. So we are going to start the FAQ chat at past. So if you guys have just joined us live, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you motherfuckers are watching.
Mofos.
Yeah, you mofos are watching. Thank you for joining us. Shadowhammer, thank you for subscribing. 1 year, no freaking way. Love you, beautiful humans. Also, someone else just subscribed. Tyromancer, thank you. The Tyromancer.
But the one before that?
Shadowhammer.
Oh.
We've all got the fantasy names.
I know.
I don't know if you know this, but we're all into fantasy things.
I mean, mine's just my name, to be fair.
Exactly. I just want to say massive shout out to everyone. Thank you to everyone on Patreon and Twitch who supports Honest Wargamer. Thank you for everyone joining us live. Jump on over onto Twitch because we're just going to be yammering for 30 minutes or so, and I want to hang out with you guys. Yeah. So big love to everyone on Patreon, big love to everyone on Twitch. Podcasters, don't forget, stay hydrated.
Yes.
That's really important. In fact, look, we've even started to take our own advice. We are now unofficially sponsored by Volvic.
I was about to say, do we get some free water now?
If any water companies who are listening would like to sponsor us, I don't think we can be impartial to water, can we?
I mean, obviously Buxton, because it's, Derbyshire.
Oh my God. Liam Jordan, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that loads. And Grobda for 11 months. 13 months and 11 months. This is awesome. Nuke Doctor, good afternoon from Detroit. Oh, I really like him. I play Warhammer against him. He's badass.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. He's really good. And Studio Earthwood says, shut up, Speckles.
I'm going to hate 80 for that one.
Sneeze says, I love Volvic water, which is...
Well, that's what we have. It tastes quite watery.
Volvic.
Oh, Volvic.
That's very different. That's what we were talking about off air.
Oh, Volvic. Ah, yes.
Freddie Frederick, good evening from Norway. Pete Pratt, hello. Just big shout out. I just want to know where everyone's from before we get into this, because currently I'm looking at people in Australia, Ireland, Norway, London. London's its own place.
I mean, you just said America there, didn't you?
Chucklebutt, yeah. And Detroit, in fact.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah. Derby, Liam Jordan, that doesn't count. New
Jersey,
Jersey,
counts.
Martin Orlando AOS. What up from New Jersey?
See.
Yeah, Neddy the Ned. Nottingham, where are you, Neddy the Ned?
Is he the special guest?
He is the special guest. Scotland, Hey the Propagation. Glasgow. Sunny San Diego is the Erdic.
Wow.
Oh my God. Arse End of Nowhere, Raker. Nice. Guernsey, Sweden.
Isn't that Derby?
Brad Pitt Lord. Great name. Denmark.
Brad Pitt Lord.
Yeah, Dudley. Milton Keynes, The Hidden Gloaming. Sneaky. Oh, Gal Gotha, thanks for subscribing for 2 months. Can we get an update about Mr. Jet? Right, yeah, great shout. Obviously, our normal show host, Mr. Nathan Prescott's not here.
Yes.
Now, there are 2 reasons for this. There's the real reason and the reason that I'm going to tell you. And the reason I'm going to tell you is that he actually... So obviously, the Age of Sigmar FAQ dropped today.
Yes.
Now, truth is that they weren't ever going to release it. But Nathan, at the weekend, decided to set up on a noble quest.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that what I had the backpack and the hiking boots?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the
the
walking
large
stick.
and the large flogger that he took with him. And he actually...
He has an array of floggers,
because most people, if it's the first time you've tuned in or one of the first times you're watching us, you might not know some of our classic in-jokes. So I'll go through them. Number one, the studio is located underneath Games Workshop.
Yes.
Yeah, we burrowed it. Nottingham is built on a set
I
of
can
caves.
genuinely see the floor and the hole where we're going through.
It's not fancy, let me tell you. There was remember the 6 months when it used to rain inside the studio?
Well, you still hear it now. I mean, obviously the rain would go through Games Workshop, through their floor, and then to us.
Yeah.
Not their sewer system.
So we actually are hidden underneath. So Nathan set up on a noble quest to make sure that he defeated the FAQ holders, because most people don't know that 4 3-headed dogs guard the FAQ release schedule.
But I know the master of those dogs. The ultimate master of those dogs.
That's right, Jet the dog.
Yes.
Jet the dog. Although we're now calling him Jeff.
Jeff! My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. Yeah, no. So Nathan has actually taken the day off to spend with Jet because Jet's got his surgery on Wednesday. So he's going to get he's going to get his butt cancer cut out. I don't know how else to say that. I mean,
wow.
You're a scientist, Speckles. You work with the
doctors. Scientist? Is that what we do in the hospital? We do science.
What do they do in the hospitals when they say that?
Well, we put underpants on our head and we type in, and then that's when we come up with our dream woman.
Right, perfect. So, Azrak, thank you for subscribing. Also, if you guys, there's a jet emoji. So if you have subscribed, like Azrank, you can use your jet emoji to be like, if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, I don't think you can do anything.
Just shout jet at your screen. just wherever you are, on a bus particularly, or a really busy area, just go, jet!
The other thing most people don't know is if you were watching last week, Nathan actually has also become a hippie.
Yes.
So, so Nathan's taken the day off. Him and Jet are outside of a drum circle where they've summoned the FAQ.
In the wigwam.
And that's why we're here. We're here to talk about it for the day. And we're gonna. I write things down now. I used to do all my notes on Google Drive, and I still type them out into Google Drive, but I write stuff down now as an aid to memory.
Is that so no one can hack into your clouds and
I would
steal
love
it?
someone to hack into my cloud.
I would never want to see what's in your cloud.
that would be.
That was a dark storm cloud if I hacked into that one.
It would be. What the feck is Specs even saying? I couldn't agree with that more. You actually were. Hi TJ Mikey, Azrak, Edric, Vangelis. There's so many cool people. Gitley.
I can't tell.
Hi Warhammer Rob. Oscar's Paints. Oh my god!
Awesome.
If you guys have not checked out Oscar's Paints, you should follow him on Twitter. He's an amazing hobbyist. But the first thing we can talk about, while we're waiting to talk about the FAQ, if that's okay with everybody. Hello, Mango Boy 983.
No, it's not. No.
It's not okay. No. Wait, before we do anything, Speckles, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm healthy. Doing pretty good. Working. I've been waiting for Christmas Day to happen before I start all my evil plans and loads of little bats. And now I can. This is fun.
Oh my god, a celebrity's just joined the chat on Mr. Haywo Twitch.
Celebs.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to when we start talking about the FAQ. We'll talk about that in like a succinct part. But effectively, I don't know how you felt, and I saw some kind of back and forth about some of the things that people were saying today. While the game has not been not a game, because we've been waiting to find out what happens with arguably the two most competitive armies in Age of Sigmar, which is Skaven and Flesh Eater Courts. Well,
I was waiting for the other two names to drop there, but
so we're gonna get. Don't worry, we're gonna have a giant bitch
Iron
about
Jaws and Sylvaneth, surely. I mean, they're the ones.
Where's the news?
They're the ones.
But we're gonna listen.
You were expecting me to say something else, then, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a bitch session about Slanesh at some point today as well, because it needs to happen. We all need to just have a chat about it. But
a long, hard chat and look.
I just want to hang out with you bros and talk about it because I'm excited because it feels like as of today, with all of the core changes, I can now finally just start writing lists and just deciding what I'm going to do.
Well, when you say that, I can take my lists from the last 3 years and just do them all, and then add more. That's about it, really. It's the same.
I hate you so much. I fucking loathe you with all of the passion.
So
we are going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, I'd like to talk about a couple of things. There's obviously news.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a sec. But this weekend in Essex, there was the Essex GT, which occurred. So in the chat, gentlemen, ladies, the court, there's a link. So one of the things we're going to try and do now, so if you listen to the podcast or you're watching live, if there's an event somewhere in the world, I'm going to try to get some sort of coverage done.
Just send Nathan in his hippie van to go get it.
We could say Nathan when he's on his spirit walk.
We need that hippie van.
Yeah, we do. But I'm going to do kind of like a condensed version of this plea / kind of like call to arms. But effectively, one of the things I want to do is start gathering information from all around the world. Okay. Now, obviously, the wonderful Mr. LLV, who, by the way, has been going mental without the ability to put stats in spreadsheets. he rang me yesterday. Yeah, for 2 hours telling me about the competitive meta balance of the old
Did he use the moose phone?
No, about the old chess people that play at his local park.
On the moose phone?
Yeah, on the moose phone.
The moose about the hoose.
Yeah. But he's wonderful. Got me lost.
Stats, LLV. Setting stuff up on the website.
Yes.
There
So
we
one of the
go.
things he already used to collect all the information anyway for the stats, and we are going to bring you new and better and more updated stats soon. So expect stats 2.0, which is exciting. But one of the other things that I'd quite like to do is get lists, and then eventually potentially a couple of interviews with people in field. So as an example, the SXGT that's happened this weekend, it would have been cool if someone would have just had a quick call with the winner. And then send it in to us. Yeah. So that's something I'm going to try and do in the future, but I'll let you guys know.
That's a lot of talks to me. I mean, I'll just turn up. So I'll be winning all of them now.
Wow. Anyway, however, in the chat, Jonathan Letton, one of the gorgeous...
The Vizard!
The Vizard.
I was literally just talking about Vizards.
So I'm a huge fan of John, and literally anything John says I think is excellent. Tomb King Tristan, hello.
He's an amazing man.
He's wonderful.
He's a Care Bear
But he spent the entire day...
Yeah.
From morning until now, and I think I've still got a message I haven't read, trying to convince me to quit AOS and play Malifaux.
What?
The entire day.
Really? What's wrong with you?
It's okay. I'm not going to do it. But he did make it. He did make it sound great.
What, for just you two?
Online.
It's like online chess.
Hey, Mick Wendell. Wonderful. Mick
Online
Wendell.
Malfo.
However, I don't intend to play it because I'm very excited about Age of Sigmar. So, the link I put in the chat, I'll put it one more time, is the results from the SXGT this weekend. So the 3 lists, all 3 of the people, apart from the Earthward, so that's Benjamin Sava. Benjamin, apart from Benjamin Sava, who can't actually use his typewriter to put things on the Honest Wargamer website.
Well, what you need... I see, this is where I think you're going wrong.
Yeah.
What you need to explain to him is, because I know he's quite low techie. Get him.
He's more like esoteric tech.
Well, get him to
I reckon if you could mechanise things from the 19th century, like...
Well, I was thinking he could use some recycled paper and fax it to Nathan, who can then bring it to you, because he's bound to have a fax machine as well.
Again, if you're new, this is a reference to the fact that Nathan has a fax machine.
He actually does, yeah.
But it's because he's waiting for the colonials to message him to let him know that he can go back to try to reclaim his home farm in what is that place called?
Tie-dye land.
Yeah. Tie-dye land. All 3 of the lists are also up on the Honest Wargamer website as well. And what's cool, if the people who do win events or do well with lists can do it, they can also write their rundown on the website. So, for instance, if you click on the link, you'll see that the S6GT, Ben Mardle. So one of the things that happens in the UK is Bens do a little bit too well at Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So there's a hashtag Nerf Ben. We'll see if that's in the FAQ come up. But Ben Mardle, who's a lovely man, I talked to him on Twitter, with the Heed Knights of Slaanesh list. Yeah, in first place.
That's a Ben kind of list, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is a Ben kind of list. Yeah. And then Leo Rautunen, I don't know if I've said that correctly.
He's got to have, the lion.
So I had a really wicked chat with Leo at Blood Tithe, and again at Bobo Just Gone.
Okay.
And if you guys go and check out the Blood Tithe interviews for Team Fiction on the Honest Wargamer YouTube channel, you can see Leo talking a little bit with the rest of Benjamin Sava and all the other people.
All the other Bens.
Yeah, all the other Benjamins.
Yeah,
or Bens. However, Leo smashed it at Blood Tithe, I think with Nighthaunt. He then went 5-0 at Bobo with Sylvaneth, the old book, which was an excellent work.
I've heard that maybe getting a new book.
No, the news has been announced, that's fine. But then he went 5-0 this weekend, or maybe 4-1 with Iron Jaws.
Told you, literally last week.
Yeah, and so the list is on there that you can check it out, and he's promised to do a bit of a write-up, which is excellent. So that's in there. And then Mr. Benjamin Sava with Legion of Grief. So the first kind of 3 results that we've seen in the new version of Age of Sigmar 2.5, and all the lists are available there, and hopefully they'll do the write-up. And what will be cool in the future, and why this has taken so fucking long to say, it would be cool if we could do that all the can, because then there's this nice kind of history. This does well, and then you can read it.
You do shit.
But then also they can tell you how it works instead of it just being some random list on the website. So hopefully we'll get that in the future.
It'd be nice to hear about it.
That's quite cool as well.
I'm looking forward to all these Legion of Grief stuff, as I have hundreds of the Legion of Grief.
Yes, well, it's already been affected a tad today in the FAQ, but we will get to that when we get to it. So that's fun, and I want to say massive shout out to Mr. Ben Wardle for doing so well.
Is that another Ben?
No, not Ben Wardle. Ben Mardle. Sorry.
I was going to say, another Ben.
Yeah, and then Leo. And I would say Leo's actually one to watch out for. That's what I wanted to point out. And I skipped over. Have you spoken to him?
No.
Yeah, I don't like. He's a bit of an iron golem. So a bit of a
destruction.
No. Like a bit of like a stone wall face. But I have seen him smile and laugh twice.
Well, that's more than the original Iron Golem. So.
But from everything I heard, the SXGT was fantastic, and I know they're looking to put it on again next year.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind going down that way to do some because there's quite a lot of people.
Down?
Yes, in geography that's down. I mean, obviously depending on what way you think Nottingham is in the world.
The middle.
The middle.
Yeah. And then TG Mikey says, Leo top bloke, table me round 1, turn 3. Welcome to your first event.
Boom. How many more crushes has he got?
Huh?
I'm hoping he's got like.
Well, if you just click the link.
Well, I can't see any computers. I just look at you.
You're not allowed them. So he has got one more crusher.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He's not doing things right.
But he has got loads of hard boys, which we did talk about.
Hard boys are hard.
I did talk about them. Yeah. So that's good. Oh, Hobby Heresy, thanks for subscribing for 9 months. So that's some event news.
Cool.
Which is really exciting. The follow-up piece of news is that they've announced a Sylvaneth Battle Tome is coming out.
Never. I mean, I've heard rumours.
We've been waiting for ages.
Whispers on the willow.
I've been so nervous. Now, can we just... I know that I just want you guys to be... I want to just have a quick talk with you all, because the kind of main problem with the Sylvaneth Battle Tome at the minute...
Well, I've got...
What's your main thoughts about
Sylvaneth? I thought the Sylvaneth obviously some kind of link with Seraphon, because all of it seems to be from like this weird memory that happened that popped up and then disappeared on some website. I mean, so I'm thinking the Seraphon are that powerful that actually getting into our world and putting memories of Sylvaneth out there that just disappear and then maybe come back. Maybe.
Well, my biggest issue with Sylvaneth at the minute, being an OG Sylvaneth player, yeah, I've played Sylvaneth since before there was even a battle tome Sylvaneth, FYI. And my biggest issue with Sylvaneth was always how many wildwoods I had to take. So what I'm really excited about is that there's only going to be... I'm only going to have to bring...
These are expensive, don't they?
What I'm really excited about is not having to just
tons of wildwood.
Take tons of. They're not called that. They're called the ravaging woods or awakened woods or something. There's a new name.
A shit wood.
Yeah. So thankfully, I won't have to. I'll only have to take the one new Sylvaneth wood.
Really?
I mean, it would be insane.
I think you need to talk to your Seraphon friends, because I think there was something in that remembering of. I think there may be somewhere in that memory bubble.
Although I am going to be the Awakened Wildwood. Thank you, Chucklebutt TV. Also, big shout out to Chucklebutt TV.
I'm going to kick his ass this weekend, by the way.
Pardon me?
I'm going to kick his ass on the tables.
What, are you playing some wine with him?
Yeah. What? I might take it to the streets.
What? Wow.
Take it to the streets.
Chucklebutt, you've just been called out online. Looking to buy wildwoods, lol.
There's a few that I'm looking at here, to be honest.
No, Steve Dooley, I just want to say, can we still do our faction reaction this week, please? And also, Donaldinho, can we do our Gitz reaction? Also, hi. So yeah, new Sylvaneth Battle Tome. Are you excited? Are you nervous they might not be good?
I mean, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's all twigs.
However, it's important because there's an interesting interaction with the new... Because if you guys are not catching on to the joke, when it was released on iTunes, we've already done a review. With me and Jonathan Atland did one. Yeah. My initial pass was that I think it's fine. It's okay-ish.
I don't know. I think there'll probably be some random thing in there that's quite good. That will go, oh shit, I didn't realise I did that, and bam, 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 bam. You'll see loads of it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be weird to have an FAQ after it's already had technically like a month out before it's even actually out.
But no one's played it at an event, I'm almost certain. I don't think anyone's let it happen at an event yet.
No, but then people have been playing like clubs.
Yeah, people have been practicing with it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I wonder how much FAQ it needs. I think the biggest issue...
it'll have the longest time for an FAQ out of all of them, I think.
Pardon me?
It'll have the longest play time
Yeah, but before an FAQ, before
release. Like a whole month before it's released.
But yeah, if you guys are going to want to go back, you can listen to that either on our YouTube or you can watch it, listen to it on our podcast. Yeah. And then that was our initial pass that we did on the day.
Yes.
I think
it's a random Sunday.
Since then, you could probably listen to a bunch of people. And then we did a faction reaction. I did it with both of the Tree Bros, both Elf Bro and Liam. And you can listen to that on the podcast as well. And I'm sure I'm putting that up as a YouTube video soon. Cool. So you guys can listen to how other people think about it, not just me and John.
I think Sylvaneth still do well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, they are good.
Agreed. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Speckles, thanks for being here. So we're obviously going to get on with the FAQ. We are just waiting for our special guest, who I think is only going to be about 10, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So get yourself a cup of tea and get ready.
Your geography and time are just diabolical.
It's going to be good.
I know, but you're like, look at the clock, it's 25 past. He'll be here for half past. Maybe 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know. He's a liar, isn't he? No, hello, Can Have Your TV. What's up, Honest Wargamer? So also, another big shout out. 2 things I can announce, actually. We're gonna be at the Canhammer event, which is called the Capital City Bloodbath in Canada.
Wow.
Yes. On the we're in July now. It's in August, and it's the weekend after the 15th and 16th, which is when I fly.
That's fine. It's my birthday.
So we're doing the 40k coverage live on the Honest Wargamer. Okay. Me and Scrivo are travelling out.
Do you not? Is he showing a hotel with you?
He's not. No.
Oh, God. Scrivo, you survived.
Yeah, because Speckle snores. And then so we're going to be there doing the 40k coverage if you guys are interested in 40k. However, little bit of a note, I'm also going to be in Canada for a week, and then during that week I'm flying down to Kentucky, and then I'm going to an event called, I think, Nashcon. I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
You best bring me some whiskey back from there. That's Mecca for me. Right?
Yeah, so which is cool. And then I'm flying back to Canada, then I'm flying back. So that's going to be fun. So I'll be touching base with 40k people, but also some HCMR people because it's HCMR show today. Yeah. If you're an HCMR people or 40k people, obviously when we're in Canada, come say hi. Really excited about working with the Canhammer guys. I'm a massive fan. They do YouTube bat reps. They do a load of stuff that you can go check out. Awesome. And they're some of the nicest people in the hobby, in my opinion.
Because Canadian.
Oh, not just because of that, I think. Oh. I don't want to just stick it to that, right?
What, Canadians are awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to, but...
Yeah, well, not all of them, but yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh, nice. New Doctor, I'll see you there. So that's going to be really fun. So, yeah, if you're in any of those 2 places, then please check us out.
And please all give Rob whiskey to bring back for me.
Yes.
Bourbon.
Donaldinho says, Speckles does snore. I remember the Starbucks in Cardiff where Scrivo and Rob were mega tired after 2 nights of Speckles.
I mean, I don't actually think Rob's ever going to come back from Canada because there's going to be some bears out there that are going to hear this and think, that's a mating call, surely.
Oh my God, this is great. And then Studio also said, best thing is a playtester won't be able to win an event with Sylvaneth on release day because everyone else will have already had a chance to read the book.
We've played this longer than you.
Right. Okay, so any questions from the chat while we just take a moment before we get into the FAQ? Because the FAQ is going to be a pretty good, healthy talk. And I want to get into it. Simon, you got any questions that are non-relatable? Or is there anyone you want to shout out? Any big events you want to mention?
Well, I'm seeing a guy from all the way from across the pond who's coming over this weekend.
Oh, yes, we are seeing the gorgeous Velatron on Friday. Yeah, we're hanging out with him. And we're just going to do some cool Warhammering. I'm going to play my Change Host.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Change Host, though. I think I've got a better list that's non-Change Host. I'm so excited. Mick, I'll message you later. No. Don't tell anyone. Siege forever. Yeah.
Fuck Zins, that's what it is. Fuck Zins.
Have you got a Corn Faction reaction? I think we've got one lined up, but I'll talk to anyone. Questions about how Jet is. He has his surgery on Wednesday.
Yes.
Talked about that. Very, very nervous, but also excited because I've decided he's now called Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
I was hanging out with him all last night. I was like, Jeff, what's your problem? And he was like, what?
Who's Jeff?
Hi, Richie. How you doing? What's Spider? Congratulations, Speckles. I am happy for you. Talking about hanging out with your friend.
Oh, yes, it'll be good.
Scotty Jock, I'm going to send you a message, Scotty Jock, about Stirling this weekend because Speckles won't drive me because he's been a prick.
Because you didn't tell me till last week, and you went, "Oh, do you fancy a 300 miles?"
Please don't publicly shame my disorganisation.
300-mile trip.
I really want to go.
Well, I'd love to. But...
Right, hold on. Major at Battlegrounds, Richmond, Virginia, USA, coming up this month. My club, CWG, finishing the terrain for it this week. Thoughts on how nullification terrain would affect Everblaze. So what happens is with a nullification piece of terrain and with an endless spell, because it dispels it if it's set up within or
travels across.
Ends up near. Effectively, what happens is it lands, it does its effect,
and then
it's dispelled.
Yeah,
that's how it works. And that's true for all.
Stormcast players are going to love that. Yeah. I'm going to chuck that endless spell on that piece of terrain. Boom, you'll die. Oh, get it back.
Mango Boy 93. Are there any clubs for games of AOS in Derby, Nottingham that you can come and recommend? Now, I don't have so. There's obviously one more in Nottingham, but I actually think that there's probably room in Nottingham for us to make an Honest Wargamer club.
We need an Honest Wargamer cafe.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the plans in the future. Right. So, but currently there's not. However, in Derby there's Boards and Swords.
Boards and Swords. If anyone knows near Pentagon Island, it's really good. They've actually changed the club night to Tuesdays now, so I can actually go. Now I'm doing this regularly on a Monday, so it's really good to look online for Boards and Swords. And there's a guy there called Anthony.
Nice guy.
He's really nice guy. Really nice guy. I taught him, so he's obviously amazing because he's now beaten me. But yeah, he'll sort games out for everyone. He's really good for it. But there's some really good players down there.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right, sweet. There you go. Hope that helps. Get to chop a 40k team tourney down in Havant in 2 weeks. Still furiously painting my Emperor's Spears for it. Usually enjoy painting, but not loving the time pressure. That is hard when you're on a deadline, right?
I don't know. I quite like it. It was weird when I did the doubles. Yeah. I was like, I'm taking this, and then that was it. Every tournament I normally go to, I've gone, I'll just build another dragon, or I'll just build another Terrorgeist. But this time, I didn't have to build anything. So it was quite weird going to a tournament knowing everything I owned. I already had painted and ready for it.
You literally have used the same army for the entire time I've ever known you.
No, I took Arcanum a few times as well. Tends to have Dragon with him as well.
Right, so before we get into the FAQ, people in the chat, there's some emoticons. If you have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, then I literally am doing this to try to make you do it. Vote with your feet. If you liked it, 1 to 5. No, if you hated it, 1 to 5. Please use the red emoji. And if you liked it, 6 to 10, that was your rating for it out of 10, please use the blue emoji, and then I will collect that information with my eyes. If you listen to the podcast,
ding, 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 ding.
Then just,
hold up a red card.
Yeah, hold up a hand.
Yeah.
And just be like,
which hand would you hold up? Left for likey, right for no.
Just hold up both. Currently we've got a blue, which is good, several blues, which are good, a red from Halo. Devious2K says blue. Captain Andrews uses an entirely different one, so I can't help him there. Because he's used blue. Stonehewer says, can Jet be the conflicted emoji? Of course he can.
Jet's always just a
Ball
winner.
and Soul Smasher hates it. Pete Pratt loves it. TJ Mikey loves it. Retastanti is unsure and conflicted Jet. A lot of people are just Jet.
Jet.
Stonehewer's all Jet. Golgotha's blue and Jet from White General. Donaldinho's blue and then many reds. So Dave Frazier's used a poo emoji. Hawkeye's just said stay hydrated. Malekith has done what looks to be a potato.
A potato?
Yeah, so long story short, we're not sure. Which is all we could want.
I very nearly got us some Irish crisps today.
What's that got to do?
You said potato, and I don't know if you can do it on...
I don't know if that's racist or not.
No, I wanted to get it.
I might have to report our own channel.
No, because apparently they're awesome. My
hold on, I want to do a shout out for the Sheffield Dragon Slayers, Monday Night Club Night, and Barbara, JN31, M1.
Yeah, there's some horrifically strong players there. 80 Mac being one of them. Look. You can see it. I'll put it on your thing.
Nice. You should have brought us them there.
I'm trying to get us some.
So I think one of the things that we can leave out of the core FAQ changes, because it's not important, is the Slanesh one. And I can sum it up like this. I'm stealing this joke, FYI. Everybody was kung fu fighting. So the Slanesh FAQ went up in Japanese.
We could get a live update on the show. It could just appear.
What about the
Slanesh?
Yes, it could do. Oh, how would it appear? don't know
like
what you're trying to say.
They might put it out on the. They might redo the.
Fuck this guy.
Thing.
Let's just get on with it.
He's now had his 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's late.
A lot of 10 minutes.
Right, we're getting on with the FAQ. I'm so excited.
I know. Well, you're going to get on. It's me that has to go downstairs and let him in. So.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Right, so the July FAQ. So the first thing to talk about with the July FAQ, I'd just like everyone's thoughts. Speckles, I'd prefer yours as well. I've had a really long question, and I really feel like if someone's taken that long to write a question, I should answer it.
Should answer it. Really.
Honest Wargamer, how do you think the Sylvaneth rules, such as Verdant Blessing 1 inch away from terrain, place of wood, interact with the FAQ that should have come out after, which is 3 inches away? Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to get to that.
I know you're going to get to that.
Okay. Big Trouble in Little China / FAQ. Fucking hilarious. I love you, Hawkeye. Good job. Right. He's going to go wild if you start without him. He's just going to have to live with it. Hello, LLV. Don't worry. We've told everyone that you're now writing competitive stats for your local people throwing rocks at pigeons.
I mean, he can just get on the Moose phone and talk to us now if he wants, but...
Yeah. Right. So, FAQ came out, right? So the quick conversation to have is... Obviously, all of our list writing... Well, so this is my personal opinion. I don't want to talk for everyone. While I've been excited about writing lists for my new armies, because you can't write lists without considering the threats that you're going to face at a tournament.
Yeah.
And I would assume that almost all of us are tournament players to some degree. Yeah, and if you're not and you're a casual player and you just like the banter, fucking brilliant.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So I don't know how you felt, Simon, but Twitch chat, have you guys felt kind of like you've been waiting for the FAQ so you can start to write your list, so you can be like, right, are Flesh Eater Courts and Skaven still going to be bent, or are they not?
They're never bent. They were fluffy.
Oh, you sweet summer child. Yeah, shut up.
I did tweet there's going to be lots of triggers and lots of salt.
Today is going to be hilarious. I can't wait for this show. So how do you feel about that?
So, it's kind of, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one. It's kind of put me off buying the handbook. Completely. Like, I still haven't actually picked it up yet, which is quite bad. But
I've got it right there.
I know you've got it here. Yeah. But this part, the points bit, literally does nothing to me, other than a couple of little bits.
Yeah, but you're very unique.
Yes, I'm very unique.
You literally have used one army for 3 years.
I've just used one faction. It just happens they all roll into one.
Right, okay.
But it's always been like, we all knew the FAQ was coming. After
because they told us.
Because they told us, which is great. It's fine.
Which is great. Well done, Games Workshop.
And they've done it, and they've done a big one. But then it was like, well, what's the point in getting the handbook when I know that after buying it, specifically 2 weeks later, a lot of stuff's going to change because it's going to be quite a lot of changes.
Right.
So I'm like, well, what was the point in me buying that book in the first place?
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah. I think the book's great. I like it. Like, it's pretty cheap, like realistically.
Yeah.
Once a year, if that's all you're going to buy. Like,
I'll still end up buying it. More
particularly good for the battle plans.
Yeah, battle plans, yeah.
To give you some idea of where objectives and deployment go. However, please look for our updated revisions on those that we're going to print.
I'm waiting for the stickers.
What?
I want stickers.
Yeah, all right, just give us time. Do you know how busy we've been?
You've been doing nothing but sat in bed eating soup. You should just make stickers.
So that's a reference to me being particularly sick this weekend.
He's not been sick.
Even.
He's
I'm just sweating right now.
It's because it's warm in here.
Oh my god.
He's had man flu.
So let me read what the Twitch chat said, because it's way better than whatever you're saying. Gillica says waiting. Dassel says 100%. Stonehugh has been waiting all my life. Propagation's been waiting 100%. Jonathan, I've been waiting, then I stopped waiting and I moved on. Please
don't
stop.
Don't.
Malekith, yeah, I'm writing a call list, so kind of had to, but all happy in my end, which is good. White John says, how does Speckles feel about Axe Bloodthirster getting cheaper? Please never. I think he's beating you with the Axe Bloodthirster.
That cheaper?
He's got cheaper. Don't shock him with the gossip.
I knew there'd be triggers going somewhere. Oh my god.
Don't worry, there's so many more triggers coming.
Oh my god.
Wait till you find out about the non-reacting active abilities at the same time, however perpendicular. And what's important is you press pause on time. So exciting.
Generally don't care. If that thing has got cheaper than 280...
Just relax yourself.
I'm tempted to just go buy 5 of them.
Gavin Andrews says, been waiting. Oh, do you want to?
Oh, yes.
Well, I'll read out what the guys in the chat are saying. Yeah, you've gone the wrong way.
I've actually got to get out, though. That's the thing.
Everyone watched Speckles try to walk past the screen. Oh, he's doing so well.
That.
Great job. He's done really well. He's done really, really well. Trog, hello Capitan, says, can't wait to see how many more Rockgut brothers I can fit in the list. Flesh Eaters are still good, just not 5 game good, says Hawkeye. Hawkeye, that's so wrong. That's so fucking wrong, I can't tell you. Love you, but that's wrong. No more Darkly Covenant. There's certainly something that said for only playing one faction. There is. It saves so much time. Is Jimmy 1080 is now a good time to ban you from dissing FEC or Skaven? There is. Although Jimmy 1080, I am going to be very creative in my criticisms. Other option is armies are missed. How many models does a unit of 30 pink horrors count as in relocation orb? Oh my god, that's such a great question. 30 times 20? Please, everyone help me with maths. 500 models. Cage Red, the FAQ didn't affect my Wood Elves and free kill. Good. Heywo, I've been waiting to make my show. Can't comment fully without context of the FAQ. Yes, Heywo, as a content creator, and I know, big shout out to the Dwellers Below, you guys are going to cuss me for that term. It has been quite hard. We've had to hold off on a bunch of things, including advice that people ask us, which has been hard. Kigley86, thanks again for the hospitality for the Dutch guys. That was a pleasure. Just go around. If you guys could try to. Here is our special guest.
It's me.
It's Speckles.
I killed the other one.
We've got him a water. It's a special. There he is. There you go. It's okay. I've already put your name up, so it doesn't work.
I'm going to come up with my face like this and distort my voice.
Here's our special guest. All the way from 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle, it is a much bolder Mark Wildman.
First off, 7th edition.
Please talk into the microphone and welcome to the show.
No, because I'm going to do it really badly, so you stop asking me to come on. And I'm going to speak away from the mic and masticate constantly.
So there we go. Hey Mark, how you doing?
All right.
So we've just started talking about the FAQ. We haven't talked about any of it so far.
I've just had a massive trigger for me.
We're jumping straight in. I just want to point out real quickly, the reason we've got Mark on is Mark, most people will know, is a huge Games Workshop shill.
Shill?
Yeah, a shill. It means someone who's sold out for money.
Go, I'm staying out of this one.
No comment.
Are you planning on having your dinner while we do a live show?
I do think I could smell something.
There are hundreds of people watching us.
I told you, I'm going to sit here and masticate and talk away from the camera so people start going, oh, why did you get that dickhead on the thing for? I actually don't know what I brought. I've just gone to that Chinese. I went to that Chinese next door. I looked at the menu and I went, what? I don't know what I'm looking at. And they just had meat. And so I just said, I want some pork and rice. So I don't know what I've got.
I hope it's nice.
We should have asked next door.
Please, can you give a review?
Next door.
Can you do a review as we're going through the show?
Yeah. We'll get
let us know what flavours are in there.
I don't even know what it is.
We need to know what it is now.
I genuinely don't know what it is.
I think you'll have to go and wait, because it actually looks quite impressive, that little box.
It's a nice little box.
Yeah.
Let me open it up.
We should do an unboxing of Chinese.
Ooh.
What the hell is
Oh my
that
god.
thing?
Right, let's get...
That is not looking good.
No, I wouldn't... You sure that's not... Listen, we sold bits of jet to like those people.
Listen, don't
Oh, dude!
don't eat with your eyes, eat with your mouth.
Wow.
I'll take your glasses off before you eat that.
Lesson for us all. Right. Okay, so the FAQ came out today. Are you excited?
No.
Excellent. Now, most people won't know that Mark spent the entire of the last show he was on just talking about Beastmen and relating to it. I imagine this one he's going to talk about mainly only Khorne. Any thoughts?
When do we start?
Okay, so the first thing we talked about was everyone's been waiting to build their list because you can't make a list without knowing what threats are in the world.
Yep.
So we've gone past that. That's exciting.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, good. They've released the FAQ pretty much when they said they were going to release it.
Yeah.
Also great.
Yeah.
Today I saw you, Mark, say maybe don't be so impatient with waiting for the FAQ.
Yeah.
My response to that is stop being a silly bollocks, because my thoughts are, why?
I'm just sit back and let this fight happen.
Well, no, hold on. You know, if
listen. Shh.
Yeah.
Right. I met Rob for a drink just before we left, before we started doing the podcast, because I went off to do some kickboxing. And he said, I'm going to lambast you when you come on the show about your tweet. And I went, bring it on, bitch. So bring it on. This is the...
It's real easy.
And fight!
It's real easy. I'm going to consistently complain publicly about anything Games Workshop does. My reasoning is for this, is because... If I go into, we got served today at the pub, Mark, and the lady was quite nice when she served us. Yeah, she was nice. Like, not overly nice, but fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a nice place. I like the food there. Yeah, so
Is it as good as whatever
just
that is?
How hard is it to like a lump of fried cheese?
Well, exactly. But my point is if I didn't like it, I wouldn't buy it, right? Or I'd complain, right? And if you're any consumer, why would you not try to make the people giving you things that you're buying? Why wouldn't you complain to make them better? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you just be like they'd be like, it's in 2 weeks, but I want it in a week. They'd be like, maybe you should stop complaining. They'd be like, maybe I just want more for my money.
That is kind of why it's called plastic crap.
I'm haggling.
Yeah.
As a group, I think we should all go. Someone goes, I want B-Score Raiders to not be as good, as an example. And then we all jump on and we go, fuck yeah.
Yeah, because, well, they're always going to be as good as they've ever been.
But my argument is, basically, as consumers, we should support each other because there's a purchasing block in a capitalist society, effectively. The more we complain, the more likely we are to get better service for our money. Argue against that, fucking Chinese boy.
It's called, in the realms of theory, it's called functionalism. Everything has a function.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at this from a functionalist point of view.
Please do.
Games Workshop produced the product. You whinge about it because for whatever reason, moan, and that's acceptable. You'll say that's
you about the
you're
entire
whinging.
Battletoad.
Yeah, that's fine. No, functionalism. Now, same purpose here. Then I get to troll you for being a whingy bastard.
Yeah, however,
so you serve a function for me.
Had I not spent the entire day complaining on Twitter about it, maybe we would never have had the FAQ. Also, Nathan's currently there fighting them now.
He's out there with a wigwam.
Of course he is. Of course he fucking
in a wigwam.
Of course he is.
The pair of sandals with Jet at his side, casting spells at Games Workshop HQ.
Well, it's not really a spell. It's one of those.
But he doesn't care about Slanesh, which is why we've got it's all in Japanese.
So I'm not surprised he's fighting because have you ever been on the other end of Nathan's fighting?
Yes, it's so strong.
On Saturday at Rock City, when it was the Heat. Was it the Heat? I don't know.
No, it was doubles.
Was it doubles?
Yes.
And we were all dancing in the thrash metal room where we're not allowed to mosh.
Yeah, agreed.
And what listeners might not know is Rob gets well scared if I try and push him. It's so funny.
For a gay man, you're the worst dancer I've ever seen.
It is a mate. I don't care.
I know it's a stereotype, so not all of you are going to be. I know not all of you are going to be good dancers, but you're the worst.
Brilliant.
You dress okay, but fucking hell, you are shit at dancing.
But we were all in this mosh pit, and all I can remember is thrash metal. It's like music I don't really listen to, and it's so loud, and we're all moshing. We're not meant to.
You
apparently.
like Fall Out Boy?
Fall Out Boy.
Can we go on with the FAQ?
Steps.
People all around the world who are like, what is this crap?
Shit about it. They want to know about Nathan being in the mosh pit. That's scary. Because he roars at you.
He does roar at you. He does.
It was as though like all the music went silent and all I could hear was Nathan roaring at me. And I looked at him, I was like, it's right rabbit in the headlights. And he pushed me into the crowd. I was like, ah!
Oh, he's great. He's great. And I miss him loads. And I hope Jet is fine. We'll update you guys. Right, so... Also, Chucklebutty danced for the first time, and he's not a terrible dancer. So, FAQ came out, great, pretty much on time, sweet, with, for the first time, something to congratulate Games Workshops on, digital points changes, for their battle tomes, which were, like, let's get to it later, whether or not we think that they were clearly needed or badly needed.
I mean, there should have been stickers.
Huh?
There should have been stickers. Just hand them out, stickers.
Yeah, they should have been, but, like, they're not.
Stickers are the way.
Stickers.
Well,
stickers are the way.
Imagine if you just got a sticker, you just stuck it into your book where it should be, printed at the right size.
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, I'm living in the dream on that one.
Tomb King Tristan asks, can you ask Mark how are the new Tomb Kings?
The new Tomb Kings.
Yeah, how are they?
They're great.
Says Tomb King Tristan. Are they?
They're great. They're great.
They're so good. All right.
Roll with that.
Okay. Yeah. So, something to congratulate Games Workshop about. Speckles, Twitch chat, how do you guys think about the fact that they've released a digital version of some points to amend some glaring problems that they had in the past 6 months?
So when you say a digital, what do you mean by that?
So, well, I mean, obviously, like, so what they did was they've in the erratas or the whichever it is, designers commentary or errata, whichever one they did.
What is the difference between an errata and a designer commentary?
None, because they use FAQs for erratas. Like they literally in an FAQ.
It was a rhetorical question.
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm used to Speckles.
He's eating whatever that is. I'm getting ripped in here.
And then the one only cover says, "Well done, Games Workshop. You've done your job." That's also true. But look, listen. Yeah, when Baldrick makes us a cup of tea, we always say thank you so much.
You find it's coffee. I'm going to correct you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he made the latte. If you're going to make references, do it right, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dave Fraser says, I have a 5-year-old child that couldn't agree with Speckles more. Stickers for life.
Yes!
Gilly says, I appreciate that at least trying to be reactive as they could have just left until next time.
Yeah.
Which is also true. Speckles is the Chris Kamara of Warhammer reporting.
Okay.
We'll research that later. Okay, right. So let's get on with the changes. So the first thing they did was some core rules changes. Yeah. So overall, overarching, they changed the points for 4 factions. They made some smaller arters.
Well, we think they've done points for 4 factions.
Yes. They made some smaller arters, which is interesting. They made some pretty key changes in the core rules. But there are 2 things I want to get to before I get to them. The first thing is, because this is the most pressing bit, Beastclaw Raiders.
Filth.
Yeah. Now, most people, as we talked about, a lot of the... Are you on your phone?
No, I'm looking. I've got a thing. I found a question that I was going to bring to the attention.
All right, good.
Okay.
The crowd.
So there we go.
All right, sweet.
Don't whinge about me using my phone, because I know what happened last time we were on the...
No, not public. I've lost my train of thought there.
So I know that one as
Beastclaw
well.
Beastclaw Raiders. Now, this is the issue that we've had. Beastclaw Raiders, as we know, that it was a combat-heavy Age of Sigmar game. Last
Too strong,
edition.
way too strong.
We know that Sinesh obviously broken and stupid and unattractive and horrible. We know that Flesh Eater Courts, same thing.
Fluffy.
Yeah, just right. Yeah. So the activation was real. Eels, the whole thing. So we know that killing the characters for a lot of those key units would be perfect if we could do that with, let's say, Frost Wreathed Ice, the shooting attack that you can get on a Thunder Tusk.
Yes.
Yeah. So we needed them to be able to run because it's an ability. It's an ability. However, unfortunately, they've changed one of the rules. They've
really
actually
haven't,
changed
have
2
they?
of the rules. They previously changed it that is it the ability to do the Frost Wreath attack, which is an 18-inch shooting attack that can do 6 mortal wounds. Is it a shooting attack? And then they said yes, which means you can no longer run and do it. And then they changed another rule as well, or they've done it either way. But basically, they've already changed it so you can't run and do it. And then they changed the rule again just to double down that you can't run and do it, which they already...
Just to make sure they guarantee that these will not be seen.
Glad they're spending their time on focusing on these problematic units in the game.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
obviously.
Really,
They focus. Which
I
is
mean,
important.
no one wants to see those little 6-wound Skaven heroes getting pop-shocked off from a...
You wouldn't want to do that, would you?
Elder Caveman says, why is Mark so pretty? Lovely.
He eats the Chinese.
And then number 1 Darkling Silver says he's not. Since Mark is in the in crowd, can you tell me which of the games which top playtesters that Beastclaw Raiders gave the bad touch to in order for them to be whipped into oblivion? # sad face. How is
People
that
don't know me well enough. You got the in crowd here.
Yeah.
I'm probably the complete opposite of what said in crowd is. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question.
So how do we all feel? Twitch chat, Mark, Speckles, about the double down, the kicking of, like, they've actually dug up Beastclaw Raiders, given them a kick in, and then put them back underneath the earth. Any thoughts?
Concrete on top. Fuck, poor bastards. That's what I say.
There seems to be a bunch of things which, to me, feel like one person's annoyance about the game rather than actually looking at some of the real issues about the game itself.
Hold on. Big news in the chat. Neddy the Ned said, I took Beastclaw Raiders with 2 Thunder Tusks to Bobo. I came second in every single game.
I mean, that's awesome.
He's done that really well. Just as deadly as ever.
I mean, well, not now, are they?
Yeah.
They did promise them just as deadly as ever, and now they thought they're just too deadly. Let's just give them a bit more of a kick in.
Oh, Captain Andrew, thanks for subscribing. Means that, I haven't bloody turned
Poor
screen times on.
bastards. Poor
Right,
bastards.
okay.
That's all I say.
Yeah, poor bastards. So that's the first key change before we get into the big stuff.
I mean, I've not looked at that one. Did they get the amazing thing where they get to take him as battle
That's
line?
the only change that's happened.
So they don't even get
Literally,
to
they've
take
done
lots more
nothing
as
else.
battle line.
They've done nothing else. They are the lazy
They just-
Baldricks. Right, follow up.
Okay.
This is big, right? So, when they released the General's Handbook, they showed there was 2 new things in there that were pretty major. One was meeting engagements,
Yeah.
and I will meet you at that engagement. Never. side. So I don't care about that, FYI, which means we're not going to talk about it forever and always. Apologies. But if you do care, that's amazing. I'm super happy for you. Live your life. But
let's play skirmish then.
Yeah. I mean, this is democracy.
It's not
1, 2, 3.
It's not called skirmish anymore, dickhead. It's called Warcry. Keep up with the times. Sorry.
Warcry's not out yet.
Do you want me to talk about Malekith or something?
Warcry's not out
yet. Right. The other thing is they released a new kind of way to do scenery. They said, look, that there's going to be 10 bits of scenery. There's major and then there's minor pieces, and you've got to deploy them this far apart. And then you and me would roll off speckles, and we'll alternate deployment
as we just go.
Yeah, and then everyone pointed out, oh, FYI, you now can't play some of the terrain, specifically Skaven Norholes. It'd probably be impossible. It'd probably be impossible to play some sort of Sylvaneth Wildwood, but thankfully they get a new battle tome where you only have to have one.
Yeah. What's that all about?
No, you have to have loads.
Sure. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Those are the new ones, though.
However, it clearly needed an update on day one. It was Pete from Northern Ireland. Big shout out to Pete who pointed that out to me. And then everyone's been laughing about it and having a bit of a joke. But the most important part is, and I think this is key, they've updated it. And still some of the stuff doesn't quite make sense and it's a little bit confusing. But can we just talk about the fact that we're all going to fucking ignore it?
Yeah,
like we're just going to flat ignore it.
Care.
Like if you were a TO, yeah, loads of love, and you're going to say to me, before you and your mates play, roll off and start putting terrain down, I've already got to carry a fucking ton of stuff around. No, fuck off. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to cuss you out. I'm going to cuss you out at your event, yeah? And I'm just going to put some terrain down and challenge the other guy to fuck about with me. I'm like, that's there. I can't be asked for this shit. It's stupid. Your thoughts,
so
Mark?
It feels like the rules have come probably about 12 years too late.
And wrong.
Well, years ago, when terrain had a real impact on the game, i.e. 7th, 8th edition. Pardon me. Sorry. When it had real impact on the game. So I'll apologise for burping.
That's fine.
I'm not going to apologise for insults. When people used to do stuff like they'd have their big blocks of 30 blood letters or whatever, and they would stick the terrain like a tournament. They would place the terrain in the corner of so it had no impact on the game because basically terrain just
was in the way.
Was just in the way, and it just fucked you because you might go in the terrain and get like half movement while you're like at least touching it. It was ridiculous. So terrain was like annoying at that time. But it feels like it feels like they're trying to solve a problem which doesn't exist.
Agreed.
And it's like, well, I just say to my opponent, should we just make it look pretty? Should we make sure the terrain isn't on objective markers?
Yeah.
And then that's it. But the only thing I'm wondering is whether or not when they get feedback from their events, so Warhammer World events, when like. I noticed a big difference when I've stopped going to like the heats, 40k and AOS because the feel it's just not there for me. I think independent events, Bobo, Blackout, Blood and Glory, everything like that.
It's not an independent event, Mark. Corporate shill.
Sure. They there is like this independent scene social contract we have with people because people, if you're going to be an arsehole and you're going to be an arsehole with 6 people and the next event you're going to be an arsehole with another 6 people, before you know it, you're going to piss off 20, 30 people and you're going to get a name for yourself. So you act in a certain way.
Yeah.
These heats, people come and they never turn up again. They can be an arsehole throughout that whole thing. So I've had some really bad plays. Now, if that gets fed back, because that's where they're going to get most of their info, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not most, some. And if they're getting sort of people
and wherever you get hurt by Beast Skull Raiders,
of course, of course, yeah. When you're like at those events, the Warhammer World events, their feedback they get from them is people whinge about if on the feedback sheets are the terrain, or maybe they're taking on board some of the advice they get. I don't know. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, whether or not that is the case.
What do you actually think then? Ignoring devil's advocate.
For me, it feels like they're trying to solve a problem which doesn't exist. But then, don't we do that with a lot of like don't TOs like we do some like we don't use a lot of places don't use all the realm spells.
Yeah.
So we already self-comp.
That's my point.
Right?
That's my point.
So this might be
there's
just
a lot
something.
but the thing that happens, right, is a lot of people see these things and then they get upset or they get a bit stressed or they're like, I'm not really sure what that means. Do I need to own 5 pieces of terrain? Do I need to learn what it is? Or people will say things like, you can't put your gnaw holes down now, and everyone's like, I'm confused. Like,
I just bought these.
And it's just much easier if we just fucking ignore it because it's silly and the game's already fairly slow compared to what it used to be like. There's a lot of bloat in the game. There's a lot of bloat in the game, so probably we don't need it. So let's just ignore it. And what's nice about the Age of Sigmar community is it's really up for talking to itself.
Yeah.
From all around the world, you got like, look at Clint from Bobo, right? No, Clint from CanCon, the Heralds of War. Wonderful man. Like, so we're over in Australia, like hanging out with him. Then he comes over and hangs out at Bobo and plays at Bobo, and like him and John are talking, and that's great. Yeah, and then same thing, like you got Magro who was over in Australia, and then he's over at Adepticon.
Yeah.
And then you got some of the Aussies, the Americans, they're coming over to the UK, and everyone's just talking to each other. We've got a really healthy group of people. Yeah. And if something's silly, we'll just go, nah, let's not do it.
Forget it.
Yeah, so let's not do it. So I'm just going to move past the scenery because I don't give a fuck about it. And if so, honestly, I will. And I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh at TOs that decide that they're going to make people roll off, and I'm going to be real public about it because I
don't think you'll ever see it. You will not see it.
Bothering people.
They didn't enforce it at doubles.
Personally, I think you should. If both you and your opponent want to do it, I don't see a problem at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you do that in the first place, so you don't need an FAQ for that or a reason. If you and your opponent go, actually, we've got lots of big scenery, let's put them down separately. Fine. Yeah. That's what they want to do.
Just put a good thing. I think scenery should have near objectives as well, right? I've seen armies get fucked over by a double Ardeneth boat, which is also true, which is interesting. That was from Elmbirds, thank you. Ixtab makes a really good point. They're solving a problem which does exist, producing a prerequisite page count for a book every year.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And then in a pitch battle, you must use a Realm of Battle board. No.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. And then so Jill says being tactical with scenery and the battlefield is dumb. Agreed.
Yeah.
Like putting scenery down that's advantageous for you is dumb because that isn't how battles are fought. You go to the battle and then you play around it, right?
Yeah. That's why whenever I say to my opponent, should we just make it look pretty?
Yeah.
Make sure you're not on the objectives, so the objectives are easy to score on, hit.
Yeah. Easy stuff.
Yeah. Dave Fraser says last tournament I played in
2001.
Dave plays now. I used Realms and Games Workshop secondaries. I ignored both entirely. I can happily ignore vast swaths of this game.
I think it's just for me. I think last time I was on, I was like saying I really love the game, but it's massively bloated and over the top.
Like we've become, which is why we're getting healthier and thinner.
Yes.
Yes, good. Right. So, there's the scenery out of the way. If someone else wants to have a conversation about that, don't care. It's over there. Like, I don't... Unless... Does anyone else in the Twitch chat... Does anyone think, oh, that's really important, that is? Like...
No.
No.
Just ignore it. Or...
Just ignore it.
Don't play it... Don't play that way and play the way you want to play.
I mean, I don't understand.
Mick says fuck scenery, move on. So that's all of Ireland.
But they doubled the amount of scenery rules you can play with as well, where you've got to do other stuff.
That's the mystical terrain effects.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
So there's 2 tables.
That's just like another thing they've added, right?
Yeah, which is good. We did a show on that with Laurie. You can
bad.
listen to it on the podcast. You'll never listen.
You just choose one table or the
other. Then I just guess highlight how out of touch they are, which is true. Hi, Chris. How you doing? They did change the deployment ranges to faction terrain. They did. So it's outside of 1 inch from the table edge, 3 inches away from other pieces of terrain.
What's that? Objectives?
No, your faction terrain.
Right, yeah.
So there you go. Right. So that's the core. So then we move on to core rules. Yeah, which they've changed some elements of. Let me just check my notes.
This is where my thing came in.
So this is important, and important for the whole of this year.
Okay.
In competitive match play. So they made a rule: if the points if you cannot find a pitch battle profile inside that book that you guys have in front of you there, the General's Handbook 2019, then they cannot be used in match play.
Triggered.
So that would mean, if you're reading rules as written, that any battle term they release this year also not usable in match play.
No.
Matt Damon.
Baldrick, I've got a cunning plan. Which did mean that they removed some things from the game.
Yes.
So the Guardian of Souls.
My favourite little model.
Yeah,
Is that the
with
one
the
where
mortality glass?
Yeah.
Is that the one where you minus D3 charge if you're
No,
D6?
one dice charge.
One
yeah.
dice charge,
Yeah.
which was a special thing that they... Mark, could you move in a tiny bit?
Sorry.
Thank you. Just
I
people
don't
want to
smell
see
that
you.
bad.
I do smell bad. I've just
No,
gone
I
for
don't smell
kickball.
that bad.
They
You
also...
smell Chinese.
Hold on. They
It was bad.
oh.
It looks it.
So, yeah, quick review of the food.
It was an egg, some shredded pork, which was I think just fried in. I'm not going to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, it was that. It was that
the
bad.
box was the best.
It was that bad. Just look at the box, and the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Okay.
about as good as it gets.
So, yeah, so they effectively have said... that thing that I've just told you there,
Yeah.
that if it's not in the GHB, you can't use it. However, they had actually forgotten to put several units in that book.
Nice.
Uh,
Love it. Love.
So
They've added though. They've
do you
added
know what
the
I
hell.
would? Do you know what I would really like to do? Is just play this to someone who doesn't play Age of Sigmar,
And go,
and
what?
they'd just be like, they forgot to do what? Anyway, so let me scroll. past
Added the
your
hell
name.
cannon back in, haven't they?
They
Yeah.
have added the hell cannon back in. Don't tell anyone because I'm taking it to an event and I don't want anyone to talk about it.
Ah,
Yeah.
tough.
No. I'm just trying to find the stuff.
I've
So,
lost my
so
two.
that means they've also
Yeah,
removed.
don't worry. But
They've also removed a bunch of stuff.
nothing there.
Listen, they've removed a bunch of stuff from the game. So things that they've removed is Bloodclaw Starhost and Heaven's Watch Starhost. So sorry, Seraphon. They have included the Errant Questor, and they forgot. There's quite a large model that Forward World sell, which is a dragon.
You kidding
Cool.
me?
They had forgotten that.
Wow.
So they've now included it. You can now use it in the game.
Oh,
How many points is it?
1,200 points. It's really stupid. Way too many points.
Is it still 1,200
Still
points?
1,200 points.
Wow.
Don't worry though. When we get to it, Ghoul King on Terror Guys has gone up in points.
You mean that one that I've used the unmounted one, the baby one, to nuke that corn dragon twice now?
Yeah, that one. He's a third of the points. They've also removed Skaven Chieftain with Battle Standard Bearer, Skaven Slave, Beast Lord and Chariot, Centaur, Warhoof, and Wargrove.
No, they haven't.
Wargore Standard
Skaven
Bearer.
Chieftain with Battle Standard is here.
Yes, but they're please remove them. In this FAQ here,
Oh.
they've literally
Oh.
said in that book, remove them.
I'm not looking at the FAQ. I refuse.
They've also, get ready for this because I know that you own one of these, get rid of a Git Boss. Mm-hmm. Get rid of the Git Boss on Wolf Chariot.
Oh.
And also the Uruk Bully.
Why?
Yeah. Also get rid of the Reaper Bolt Thrower, the Dreadlord on Drake Spawn, Sorceress on Dark Pegasus, Sorceress on Drake Spawn, and the Beastmaster on
No
Manticore.
more Pegasus?
Get rid of Shades, and get rid of all of those
Why?
things.
Why?
Why would they do this?
Why just nope? Can't have them.
Oh, they might come back in another book.
But then they have Tomb Kings in there.
that. I love it.
Captain Andrew says yes, they got removed. We're getting new elves? Question mark.
Is it down to the fact they don't sell them anymore? Is that
Yeah.
the
More
main
likely.
reason?
Okay,
You know-
so moving on, but without answering that question, I'll tell you the next piece of news. They've also included the Errant Quester, which makes sense, right? Because they sell that at Games Workshop. Obviously, the Dragon, which they also sell as well. So currently, your theory is correct, Mark.
Yes.
It looks like things that they don't sell, they're getting rid of. And then they've also decided, because Legion of Asgore are great, they forgot to put our Skullcracker War Engine in. So they've included it. They said, make sure here's the pitch battle profile for Skullcracker War Engine, so we can use that. And guess what they don't sell?
Skullcracker War Engine. Why don't they sell them? They just stopped selling them.
They just stopped selling
Because
them.
no one likes them.
Not
from
everything else.
They're not real.
And they also included art because inside the General Handbook they also forgot our allegiance abilities for the Legion of Asgore. I say oh,
Mine.
so
You're the only
2018
player.
me. They've included our allegiance.
Yours and
is-
Ben's.
No, he doesn't play them anymore. Does he even play Age of Sigmar anymore?
I think
heard
he
he's
does.
a plasterer
He
now.
does.
Huh?
He does.
Oh, nice.
I think last week he was tweeting about playing his.
Ben Mardle, I wouldn't know if I'd have blocked for years. At least 2, maybe 3.
Oh, you go, girl. You rock that boat.
You've
could
got
have-
a
they
boat.
could have a
I'm not on
fight.
it.
A master.
I'm on the land.
You rock that raft.
Sorry, I'm
All right,
not very
cough
well.
it
So, they've taken a bunch of stuff out and they've put a couple of things in and they've given allies matrix to Legion of Asgore.
They've actually given them allies?
Yeah, they've given them allies.
So now they have friends?
Yeah. Anyone got any thoughts?
Well, I think that they shouldn't give them allies because no one wants to be friends with them.
I think the conversation about terrain was more entertaining than
fake
Chaos
dwarfs.
Dwarfs.
Yeah. Yeah. Fake dwarves.
It seems to me it's kind of again just adding to a bloated system that they don't really have.
They've taken loads of stuff out.
There's
but they don't. Yeah, but that's the point though. That
Yeah.
they haven't got full control over really what's going on. They've looked at it and gone, oh fuck,
Forgot about
that. All it requires is a cursory check from the previous General's Handbook, stuff like that.
Sorry.
It just
Quality control. Have you been around?
Hey, you calling me fat? but it just shows. I mean, again, devil's advocate. Our Games Workshop just not employing enough playtesters, writers, rule writers.
Oh my god, let's never get into this conversation.
This could be a long
1,000 years.
Yeah.
But
listen. It's still a critical
stay
comment.
hydrated. Make sure you guys do too.
I am.
Yeah,
I think I've drunk more water than both. Oh, no, actually.
Okay, well.
Cool story, bro. Right, let's carry on. Let's get over it.
What's your thought?
My thought being is, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? What emoji did we use last time?
That one. Yeah, I wasn't on for that show. I watched that show.
Anyway, so we've got an allies matrix now, which, as Hobbit Hobbies points out, at least we're not racist anymore, which was important because previously we wouldn't ally with anyone. We were such. No, I don't want to be friends with you.
That's about right.
So that's good. So that's the overarching changes. They've deleted a lot of stuff. You're going to be sad about the Uruk Bully going?
It didn't actually do anything when they changed some of the war scrolls, so you wouldn't. It used to buff the two artillery pieces, but then I believe, and I'm sure somebody in Twitch will you're wrong. Fuck off. I believe.
Wow, you really have got. That's the rapport I have with the British chat. Yeah, which is not true at all.
I believe the bully gave the artillery pieces their extra abilities, but then I think they changed it so when two artillery pieces together, they got that ability. I think.
Are we spending this long on the Uruk Bully?
I mean,
yes, and it deserves it. Thank you very much.
I'm not that old. I don't know that model.
You don't remember the Uruk Bully? It was literally just an Uruk.
He had a whip.
You stood next to her.
He had a whip and a peg leg.
It was the pirate orc.
There is many people in the chat. By the way, the chat's not yours, Mark. It's definitely my gang of mates. And they've all just told me that you're wrong.
You're wrong. I've got the wrong book in front of me.
There's probably no one that's actually looked at the rule and went, no, he's wrong.
I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Manimal says, your joy is only matched by my pilot's salt. Because Tomb King Tristan's excited, obviously. Did you know that they've also put Bretonnia back in the game?
Have they?
And Tomb Kings.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
Let's do some... If I weren't playing painting Blood Angels...
Benjamin, do you know who Benjamin Sava is?
Yeah.
Some idiot.
Well, he's just said you're right, Mark. I'm so glad that you fucking fell out. You called him out.
Yeah, but I'm only horrible to people I like.
Oh,
I love you, Rob.
Rob,
I love you so much, Rob. You're the best.
Love
you, Benjamin.
By the way, if any battle terms come out this year, according to the FAQ, not legal in match play.
Terrain, I'm sticking with my old one then.
There's another thing with terrain doesn't care. Next up. Got that, did that. Right.
Did they not get rid of mercenary Uruks?
Huh?
Did they not get rid of mercenary? Yes.
No. Right, so you ready for the next thing?
Yes.
Hurry up.
Okay, so Forbidden Power. The FAQ to Forbidden Power.
Yes, the one that I was really interested about.
So, Lack-1, the Soul Seeker, Soul Weaver, or as
Tugger's
it's
Tugboat.
known, Tugger Tugboat, the Bringy Dingy Lunchbox, and the Toot Toot Scoot Scoot. Yeah, those are all of its current names. But many of you know it as the boat that rocked. From Forbidden Power. No longer are you able to move after you've transported a unit via the boat. How do we all feel about that?
I mean, I think it probably only affects change host people.
And as Haywo says, and please everyone follow Haywo on both Twitch and YouTube and all the other places. He's my favourite. No, is he? No, I've got loads of favourite YouTubers, but I really like him. I like loads equally, and I don't care what that means. If I had children, I wouldn't pick one. I mean, I would.
You would.
To sacrifice.
Every parent picks one.
Who's yours? Say it now. You've
No,
got
no,
to.
no.
Pick your favourite child, Mark.
Refuse.
Pick
No.
your favourite child.
Nope.
Pick your favourite child, Mark.
Child 1.
Wow, I can't wait till.
The other one's like,
I'm
I knew it was
going to show
like
him when he's
always
18 years old.
I didn't name him. I didn't make a name.
I was going to say he didn't mean you. He told me after.
One could have been the youngest one. Or one
It's
could have
easy.
been the
Just have
first
one
one.
kid like me. That's it. Done. He's my favourite and least
Morgan
favourite.
Source says he's annoyed with the Lacon change. They didn't need to do it. I think they did.
A little bit.
I
What's
think
that?
it was.
Sorry.
So the boat, you cast it in the hero phase, you transported a unit,
Yeah.
it got out, and then it could move afterwards.
Oh,
in the
right,
movement
yeah,
phase.
okay.
I think that needed changing because it's the only example of being able to teleport their move.
Yeah, totally.
They took it off they've taken it off Sylvaneth. They've taken it off Seraphon. I just don't think.
I think it's a real standardised rule, and I think this game suffers for too many. But I can do that because I've got a 6-inch knob, and I haven't been able to do that because I've got I've got a 12-inch boat. Something like that. It's stupid stuff like that, isn't it? You have these over complicated rules that are over bloated, so it's right.
It's always just
Done.
stay
Move
outside
on.
9.
Move on.
Okay, so I think that's a great change. I'm sorry, Morgan Soul Smasher, that we disagree, but I think that's great. Dino Titan Edition says, Mitt Wendell, thanks for the 100-bit donation. Says, this might be selfish, but the GHB points and updates totally destroy the game. That way people might finally start playing without points again. I understand that. But we never played without points, did we, Mark? Me and Mark met by playing the very first set.
We played without points.
We played without points. That was the first time. You had Tomb Kings at that point.
I did.
Tristan will be very proud about that.
Yeah, I did.
You did. And I used Seraphon.
You
did.
did.
I used Rippers on you.
Oh
and you
yeah.
were so
I'm
fucking
like, I've got these
Continue.
Ushabti that just moved like 6 inches across the board, and we were like, okay, they're on the same base. You can have 3 of your Rippers, and I'll have 3 of my Ushabti. It's
same
about
wounds,
right.
Same wounds, man.
Yeah. But back then, the Rippers were quite powerful, if I remember rightly. Taking whole army down, one round of attacks.
No, don't know what you're talking about. And then Jack Magic says, no more singy about the bringy dingy. Sad face. Dookie Tristan says, my son is my favourite. Right, that's it. So,
Oh yeah.
sorry.
The best thing I want to
So the
know
boat.
about...
So the boat. Generally,
Yeah.
they could have just put the points up, but fair. Is Mark
I just
saying.
think it's more standardised, isn't
Yeah.
it? Which is the right way.
Yeah,
That's
but
how I
would
see
you
it.
feel? Do you feel Forbidden Power as a book? Do you think that overboated the system of it? Just
Jesus
stolen that off Hobbit here.
Wow, now you're just like plagiarising your listeners. You are something else,
I'm
mate.
shouting him out. It was Hobbit hobbies.
Too late.
That's
I
the joke.
didn't hear you.
So the boat changed. I think that's great because it was a
Yeah,
bit abusive, personally. Next up. Oh no, they're all just bad news.
I mean, but I want to know why. Are you going to some other than Forbidden Power?
I'm not gonna do the corn rules because it's a little bit complex. Not corn rules, sorry, the core rule
Just to
changes.
go-
'Cause it's a little bit complex. We'll do that at the end because it'll bore people.
I think.
Just can I get mine?
Yeah, go on.
Forbidden Power.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that needed FAQ in other than the boat.
Yes.
That they haven't.
Which was?
Can you take
Oh,
a
no.
Nighthorn?
So you can't take. They haven't said whether or not you can take Nighthawk battalions in
Forbidden.
Legion of Grief. But Mr. LLV, Hobbit Hobbies, thanks for donating 100 bits, and also to Hawkeye. They have me and LLV were pretty stringent, especially me on the show. Legion of Grief, it's just like a Legion of Nagash. Like Legion of Nagash, you got Legion of Sacrament, you got Legion of fucking Blood, you got Legion of whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. Legion of Grief is just another one of them. And obviously, by the way, Games Workshop guy who has to listen, love you. Hope you're having a great day. Get yourself a coffee. He's obviously listened because there was an FAQ, which I'm almost certain was just for me and LLV, where it says, Legion of Grief is not the Legion of Nagash. Can't use its spells. He might as well have written underneath it, fuck off, Rob.
Brand new book. Eat my fucking dick.
So is it a Nighthorn?
You know what?
No,
Imagine it's like Flesh Eater Corpse. It's completely its own one faction.
Oh.
Yes.
Completely separate. I've
not read it.
Might have well have said to Robin LLV, fuck you, dickheads. Which is great.
If you're going to talk about core rules, is that a core rule question? I saw that on Twitter.
This is a core rule. This is from Haywo.
Is that...
That's
This is
Hayward.
from
Oh, is that the
Hayward,
same
wasn't
one?
it?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the guy.
I was
This
standing
is the
waiting
guy.
for you, and I was just looking through Twitter, and I thought, that seems like a good question.
So core rules 1. Yeah, this is the core rule. So it does immediately have to happen before, after. No, they happen at the same time, which is correct. Yeah. I'm going to retweet this later. In fact, I'll put a link in the show notes for you guys.
That's why.
But in Corn, you said the window closes and only one gets to work. Answer: that was some other guy. Rules writers don't talk to each other, and oversight doesn't care. He's right. When we get to the core rule change,
He just cracked me up. When
yeah. When we get to the core rules change at the end, it's super complicated. It's contradictory. Doesn't make loads of sense. And what's really, really important is it's dumb. But we'll get there later.
Oh, that's keeping your listeners in watching the show, because
No,
we're
it's
going to
just
talk
actually when we
about
get
something
it-
exciting later on.
So
Skipped ads.
some quick changes. Fire Slayers. Yeah, the prayers have been cleaned up. Like, is this a prayer? No. Can you cast more? Like, they've cleaned up the kind of like what prayers are and aren't prayers. Fire Slayers, excellent little change. Lovely. That was nice. Next up.
Any points?
Huh?
Any points difference?
Nothing changed.
Nice and easy.
Right, apart from obviously,
Best unit in the
did
game.
anyone get the Fire Slayers rule from the White Dwarf where it had the new Fire Slayer stuff?
No.
Did you see that? In White Dwarf, they put a new Fire Slayers thing. As per the FAQ, where it, as stated, don't forget, if it's not in the GHB, it can't be used.
So now it's irrelevant.
off.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. So they need to FAQ that. Otherwise, you can't use that. I don't know why. I'm not in charge of this. Next up, what would you guys like to do? Would you like to do... so quick things. Daughters of Cain, they've changed it so that Marathi and the Queen, Hag Queen's either just on the foot or on the Cauldron. You can only affect one unit with its command ability every hero phase. Not one unit. It can't be affected more than once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
What ability was that? Remind me.
In its hero phase, ability to reroll to wound, or potentially... Don't remember.
Reroll charges?
It doesn't matter. But yeah, so fine. It's not. No one cares. Fight in the hero phase.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So no one cares. I'm sure someone cares.
Because if that's happened, you probably won anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So would you like to talk about Khorne? Oh, let me just check. So the big things we've got to
He's
talk
just
about.
told us we're not talking about corn, right?
No, we are. No, Khorne. Core rules.
Core
Open
rules.
your ears, Speckles.
Sorry.
So Khorne. Do you want to talk about Khorne first?
Sure. It's the
So
only bit I've read.
they've cleared up the prayers like they did with the Fire Slayers, which is nice. They've told us that Valkyria is not a demon on purpose. She doesn't have the demon keyword
No, she doesn't.
on purpose.
She's mortal.
Yeah, they've clarified that.
Yeah. I don't... But she was like, in the old world, you could get Valkyrie in the old world, so why is she mortal? I don't get that. So I'm really confused.
What do you mean?
So, Valkyria used to be able to get in like 7th and 8th edition.
Yeah.
So, surely... So she's a mortal that survived the end times.
Yes, she is.
Isn't that the one that they released with that corn, Warcry thing, but prior?
No, I think it's Scar Bloodbrath or whatever. He was the new like mortal thing that got released. He's a mortal dude.
Okay.
I find that a bit confusing. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have thought. I think there's probably in the rules the reason why. I mean, it would probably make her quite good within the Khorne book if she did have the demon keyword.
Hold on, Guernsey's just asked a really good question. Are the Legion of Grief in the General's Handbook
Okay, back to that,
2019?
No.
Let's have a look.
Tell me that.
I don't think that they are.
I've not seen
So
them.
Benjamin,
we're looking.
sorry,
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Has he just
They
been
are their
using-
own faction now, but they're not in the General's Handbook
So you
2019.
can't use them.
So...
This is like, I think if people just want to put us on hold for the minute. I'll have a look.
It's okay, I can keep talking too.
Oh, no, the Nighthaunt there.
Nighthaunt. So is
The
it?
pitch battle profiles
Yeah.
for the units are
No.
in the GHB.
So not there at all. You've
There's
got
a new
Nighthaunt
ally.
effect, not Legion, no nothing.
Death. Hang
That's it.
on.
Oh, Benjamin
it's all
Sava,
there.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
There's no more. There's just
However,
just
as
those two
Mick
pages.
points out, the pitch battle profiles for the units are in the GHB.
Okay.
True.
So that works.
Yeah.
That works. Well done. The Legion of Grief use pitch battle profiles.
You don't
that are
have
in
to
the
pay
GHB.
points
There
to
we
be
go.
the
Yeah,
Legion
it's
of
good.
Grief.
There we go. We've saved it. Thank you so much.
But
Alive.
it does mean that Legion of Grief cannot have any allies.
Yeah, they can. They can. It's fine.
No, they're not there. Allies: Death, Nighthaunt, Flesh Eater, Grand Host, Legion of Blood, Legion of Night, Legion of Soul Blight.
Hey, just play Ian.
Allies: none. They're not there. They
Oh my
can't have
God,
allies.
We've got everyone's in the chat. This is going to be exciting. Right, So, you ready to listen to this Khorne update? This is fun. And also, Ian also did a very excellent thread if you'd like to talk about the activations in a bit, which is the thing we're going to talk about at the end. So, I'm going to read the question out to you guys, and then see how you guys feel. I have a question about how the Reapers of Vengeance slaughter host command ability, leave none alive, after a unit has fought in the combat phase for the first time. If it is within 3 inches of an enemy unit, it can fight for a second time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Interacts with the Tyrants of Blood battalion ability, which is Fierce Rivals. After a unit from a battalion has fought in the combat phase for the first time, you can pick another unit from the same battalion that has not yet fought in that combat phase, and it can fight. Both happen at the same time, so can I use both for the same unit? What would you guys think?
So you do... Is it all... The first question I would ask is, are all of those attacks simultaneous?
Great question.
Because if they're simultaneous, then it's easy. Because you just do all of your attacks, then you take all the wounds off afterwards. However, if it's not simultaneous, then you would do one, then another.
Okay, get ready.
One, then another.
Simon, you got any thoughts before we answer?
Blown so far.
So far, mind blown.
Don't asking him
Don't
about
worry,
complicated rules.
he's got loads of questions to answer later. It's really exciting. Answer, no. When you have 2 or more abilities that happen at the same time...
Oh, this is why I've got loads of questions later on.
This is really exciting. You must use them one after the other. Mm-hmm. In the order of your choice, completely finishing one until you move on to the other. In this case, you'll need to decide which of these 2 abilities you want to use first for the unit. Having done so, you will not be able to use the second ability, as each must be used after the unit has fought for the first time. And this will no longer be the case for the second ability, because it's already fought. Note that the use of the word after in Age of Sigmar, and let me just tell you, you know when you just go, you should have stopped writing? This is one of those sentences. Can I just shout out like 3 specific people right here? Nico, Danford. I think that's all of the people. In fact, just those 2 so
you
far.
said 3.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, those. I don't want to say the third. Note that the use of the word after in the Age of Sigmar rules is synonymous with immediately after and not at any point in the future. The issue with that is they made a blanket statement at the end of a specific rule, and now what someone's going to do is take that sentence and go through every fucking rule, and I guarantee that's fucked up a ton of things.
It'll be interesting what comes out of it.
That will be very interesting.
So things are no longer simultaneous.
Not in this.
That
Yes.
specific.
In this specific case, we will get.
So basically, let me tell me right. Let me. I was listening and it wasn't going in entirely because I was confused. So I have my Bloodthirster. He fights first, and then another Bloodthirster can activate. That's the Tyrants of Blood.
Yeah.
And then so I've got his Billy 1 fights, Billy 2 fights. I then can't go back and use the command ability on the Billy that fought.
It's his ability, isn't it? Is it
the Reapers of Vengeance ability, which isn't the Tyrants of Blood ability. It's like the sub-faction. Yeah. Can I then go back and fight the first Billy a second time with the command ability, or is that straight away?
No.
Fights immediately.
Because it happens after.
Okay, so...
However, FYI, when we get to it, I'm really trying to like elongate the joke, but effectively in both the Skaven and the Flesh Eater Courts FAQs, they've said the exact opposite for their attacks. So, for instance, Plague Monks, when they have Death Frenzy and the other spell, whatever it's fucking called, put on them, they were able to pile in an attack after they die using both abilities simultaneously, even though they're after. Yeah. In this case, it's after. So what they've done in this rule is they've said, you can't do the one thing. Oh, wow, Andy Davo, thank you so much for hosting the show. So what they've said in one show, in this FAQ on the Khorne one, they've made this blanket statement at the end, and then in the Skaven and the Flesh Eater Courts FAQs, they've overridden their own blanket statement.
Sure. Well, I am not surprised.
Well, they're just fluffy stuff, so, yeah.
So basically, Tyrants of Blood. So I can do my Bloodthirster. He fights. I can even make him. If he fights twice, can I then not activate another Bloodthirster?
No. So basically, I can sum it up for you.
Right, okay,
So Reapers of Vengeance and 3 Rage Thirsters are now useless in terms of abilities, right? Correct.
Right, so I think I know the reason for this. Again, devil's advocate here. Yeah. I think the reason for this is because I think the idea Games Workshop had, potentially, was you had Reaper's Vengeance and what's the other Khorne one?
Corporate Shilling, here we go.
Yeah, totally. No, but if you're asking for an actual sort of like, I mean, I dick around 90% of the time, but if you actually want a legitimate, sensible answer, or I can just go away and...
No, I want to hear it. Also, thank you everyone for joining us, by the way. There's loads of you in the room, so I want to say a big shout out.
Right, so I think the problem, what was the other Reaper's Vengeance and what was the other Khorne one?
The battalion thing.
No, the sub-faction thing.
Thanks, Andy.
The other one.
The other one.
Yeah.
Now that one had the item which allowed the Bloodthirster to fight immediately, straight away. So everyone was ignoring that one and just doing Tyrants of Blood with Reaper's Vengeance.
Yes.
Because it was a much better... It was the obvious combo. A totally obvious combo. But actually, and you can still do that. But you can still have that ability if you want. However, Tyrants of Blood with the other Khorne one...
cancel the other one out.
Totally made the other one useless. Yeah. So I think that's probably why it's there. I'm not saying it's the right reason. I'm not going into whether or not I think that's right or wrong. But if you just take away that, it just totally cancels that other sub faction out, and that ability to make the Bloodthirsters go fight first. So it actually makes the other sub faction more intriguing to take. So you have your billies all fighting first instead.
Yes.
So I think there's a rationale for why they've done that.
However, it has made a bunch of the abilities useless, especially when we compare it to the other abilities later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Andy Davo, I just want to say, he lurks here from time to time, great content. Thank you so much. He's got his own Twitch channel where he paints, so I just want to say a big thank you. That's real nice, because he's made a bunch of people come and watch. It's real lovely.
Awesome.
Stephen AOS, FEC and Skaven activate and have nothing preventing the second ability triggering. Corner locked in by this, after it fights for the first time. That restriction on both abilities is what's locking it to pick one. There you go. Man, I desperately need to find a picture of Skaven type spells. Pretty sure there is a bunch of silly things. So they cut points to the Thirsters. Yeah, so that's the next thing. But we'll go to the points changes after. Yeah. We'll go through the rules. So that's the Khorne changes. Yeah. So then next up, we need to talk about is, would you like to do Skaven or Flesh Eater Courts? Which are you least bothered or most bothered by?
Alphabetical. Just get on with it.
Yeah. Flesh Eater Courts. Okay.
Let's go home.
Flesh Eater Courts. So,
the Speckles Courts.
So the question is, so we've just read the Khorne FAQ, and the Khorne FAQ says to us, hey, by the way, you can't activate an ability after that's at the same time.
Yeah.
So my question is, if I kill the Ghoul King on Terrorgeist,
yes,
sweet, and then I use the ability to attack when I've been killed,
yes,
can I use the command ability to attack again now?
See, I think I've read this.
I've not read that bit.
So what would you think, Simon? Because that's massive.
What do you think, Simon?
I've always said, personally, you can't.
Okay.
But I've got a feeling from the glint in your eye.
You fucking can.
It says it, doesn't it?
It does say it.
Wow. That's the one I read.
It does say it.
Basically, it just means you're always going to fight with your Ghoul King.
Twice.
But do you, when you kill it, do you kill it? See, this is the next one. We had this conversation. Do you fight with the Ghoul King at full health or on the bottom level?
Yeah, because it was with Scully as well at Bobo. People say full profile, other people say bottom profile. There's nothing there. It's only the more. And
it would be cool if it said that in the FAQ, right?
It would be great.
It doesn't.
No.
Next up. So, how do I feel about that? Terrible. I think that's a terrible effect on the game. A quick emotional reaction, everyone in the Twitch chat. You two, not you. Yeah, go on then. How do you feel about that as a Flesh Eater Courts player?
It's weird. It's dead. It shouldn't get to fight twice. One last hurrah. Look. See, that's why the my community is good. He's like, that's dumb. It is dumb. I've never done it. I think attack once, fine, but that's it. It's
as though sort of Games Workshop made this idea of like, we want this dragon to eat you, and it's going to be really hard for you to. So this dragon appeared, and it was like, right, he's going to eat you. However, there's a few ways around it. That's cool. Then they went, actually, no, we don't like you getting around this dragon fighting. We always want it to fight. So we'll change the rules to make sure it can always fight. Okay, fine. So we're going to try and work other ways around it to try and get around it. And now they've changed the rules again. So no matter what you do, unless you shoot it, and I think that's probably what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
Unless you shoot this, it's going to try and fight you. Yeah. And that's probably, and you know, that is what it is.
Okay, good. Right, so they also changed the heaving masses rule, and they changed Savage Strike. So Savage Strike is the always strikes first. Yeah. The Ghoul King on Terrorgeist from Gristlegore is able to always strikes first in the combat phase. Now it only applies if he charges.
Yeah. Okay. Just not that. Just resolve everything.
Does that not resolve everything?
Yeah.
No. Not a chance.
So my issue is. Do we?
But now he strikes first. So in one way they've given, and the other way they've taken away. So actually, what you're saying is, so there's a way round this always strike first, i.e., you charge it, correct? But now, it still gets to fight.
So a couple of the issues realistically. So it's a positive change. That's the first thing to say, because it does give you a counterplay, right?
Yes. That's what I'm going. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
If I charge it. Yeah. I'm more powerful, ignoring that even when I charge it, it can fight me back twice.
Yes.
Why do we? And we can't ignore that because that's dumb.
But
right?
It's only on one. It's on its lowest profile.
What?
Well, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
But
no. But it should say, because actually,
it should.
It doesn't say. Now here's what's important next, right? The issue is that would be cool if it was like a movement 8 or a movement 12 unit, right? Yeah. Like a Bloodthirster's movement 10. Yeah?
Sure.
Right? No, it is.
I know it is.
Right? So, however, a Ghoul King on Terrorgeist is base move 14 if it doesn't do its run and charge ability. Yeah. And then it's anything from a 15 to a 20-inch movement unit, right? Which attacks, spends a command point, attacks again. So... it's a good change in that it gives us a few more plays, which is nice.
Yeah.
Ignoring the fact that it attacks us back. However, unfortunately, I don't think it's enough of a change. But thankfully, when we get to points, I'm hoping that's going to fix it.
I've got a surprise for you.
I mean, I'm just looking at it now, and actually, it doesn't really go down that much, does it?
Makes no odds. It's literally the claws.
Yeah, claws go from 7 attacks to 3 attacks.
No, that's the zombie dragon.
Is that the zombie dragon? Oh, it's even worse.
It goes from 4 to 2.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
There's literally just 2 attacks.
No, yeah. So it loses 2 attacks. So basically,
it will be bottom profile. Thanks, Nuke Doctor.
I think it would be bottom.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah. I
haven't.
I would say how many wounds has that Terrorgeist taken? And it's 13 plus. Yeah. So
there's a core rule change actually for Overkill, which is quite cool in a minute when we get to it. Can we get onto how good skull cannons are now? Oh my god! I was going to tweet you actually. That's quite exciting. So bottom tier for that. So Twitch chat, and some people have already said. In which case. So the one thing that has changed, because we haven't really talked about Flesh Eater Course yet, because we've been waiting for these changes, is that this edition of Age of Sigmar is a little bit more command point dry.
Yes.
For some armies. Some armies not. Gitz, as an example, but some armies are starting with less command points. So, for example, normally you saw the Flesh Eater Courts lists previously. They would have a battalion, so they'd have Ghoul Patrol.
Yep.
So they'd have a command point, they'd have another command point, and then they would use that. They wouldn't use that for summoning, would they? Because it's free.
Yeah.
But then, so effectively, you still can fight against 2 dragons that can fight twice. So you still are going to have to face 1,600 points of combat in your turn. Or you can charge it, kill 1, and then it can fight twice
and kill you
back.
But then that's it.
It's
removed. But I mean, it's going to do a horrific amount of damage at that point, in my opinion.
I don't know. I'm in the camp of. I think this is probably where it needs to remain and not move. Like, as in, they just need to leave it well alone now.
As a group, we'll deal with it.
Well, I don't know. I think there's this degree of the problem we had before was there was no real way round about killing it because it killed you first. This time round, it's this big dragon which is gonna hurt no matter what. That is the point. It's gonna hurt, and that is the point. And the way they've gotten around that is by saying, well, if you kill it, it's still gonna hurt you. However, once you've killed it, it's going to hurt you, and then it's gone. So it's like that counter move, chess, like, right, I'm going to use my 9 enlightened, whatever it might be, to kill you. I will lose my enlightened in return, but it's dead. And so it's
unless
that chess
there's no
counterplay.
CP. Like, they still need that CP, and Flesh Eater Courts can be a super heavy CP hungry army. So if you attack it, if you charge it after it's used all the CP, see it's dead. Game over. It's not going to do it again. So just
So
wait
I'm
for that.
not. You know, I'm as a game mechanic. I mean, I personally thought at the point where it used to fight first, you know, we get the 6-inch pilings. I think they should have just stopped then because that was the best way around it.
Yeah.
Now they've just changed the rules again, and it's like another rules change trying to fix a problem with this model.
But not much.
No, I just think they now need to leave it and go. This is what it is.
So in case
also
in case anyone wasn't, I don't know why anyone wouldn't, but if you looked at the stats for last year, in 3 months, Flesh Eater Courts racked up 11 podiums, first place podiums in 3 months across the world. 11. So, like, and if you talk about Legions and Nagash, who were the most popular faction in the last edition across a year, so 4 times as long, they only rocked up 20. And they were a super strong army as well. Yeah. So they rocked 20, and then Flesh Eater Courts managed 11 in 3 months. Like, they're crazy strong.
Yeah.
Crazy strong. And that's a whole bunch of people not really playing with them loads either. Like, it's not a lot of practice. They're just, like, winning events out of that. I don't think it's enough of a change, personally. I think that command point should only be spendable once per game, or maybe only spend on a unit once per game. So I could spend it on my Ghoul King on Terror Guys, and I could spend it on my unit of ghouls. That's fine. But whatever, it's not changed now. This is the world. This is the world we're in, and that's fine.
Yeah. I think the easy fix would have been it just doesn't fight twice when it dies. That you know. Then then you've got the Achilles heel with the Gristlegore. So it can fight you and it's going to hurt you when you kill it. Which I kind of like. I kind of like the idea of this thrashing monster. Like that concept of you put a dog against a wall and that's the worst place you want to be. If you've got a ravaging dog, you just want to let it go. Off you go. Do you know what I mean? And it's so I kind of like that concept.
You back a dragon in the
the
corner,
fighting twice.
back.
It's just a bit of a. It is a negative play experience.
It's a huge. That's going to be one of the key things I'm going to talk about later on. And I think is a key concept this year that we should talk about is because I think the conversation we get about balance is quite complicated and argue and quite clearly Games Workshop have no clues as to how to achieve that, and that's not really. I think that I like the rock paper scissors mechanic of our overall metagame, which is awesome. That's one of the reasons I really love Warhammer and tabletop wargaming because of the diversity of units. Right, Iron Jaws have an inherent weaknesses and they can't shoot. They've got no long range attack. They're really good at fighting. So then a shooting army is really good at shooting but crap at fighting. You can't balance that because if I play you and my shooting's either better than your combat, that's it. We'll get to Skaven in a minute.
So there's that whole thing about some war scrolls. Some of the war scrolls are just inherently just need an overhaul, and actually points changes isn't enough. Like a bit like this. An analogy for real life, an analogy. The NHS, the NHS, people say the NHS doesn't need more funding; it just needs to work more efficiently. We need less waste. This situation.
Simon, FYI, is an NHS employee.
So and it's true. You're a waster. You need to sort yourself out.
I disagree.
I'm not even going to go into your
The NHS is the greatest thing to happen in this country.
It is. I don't know, but you know, they've saved a lot of money. Anyway, that's the point I'm making. Is sometimes you've got to look. Changing points values sometimes isn't what you need to do. Sometimes you need to actually change. It's like Snotling Pumpwagon. I don't know. Are they in the book?
No, they're gone back.
Don't
now you're triggered.
Oh yeah, now you're triggered. Yeah.
Don't worry about the terror guys. Pump wagons.
Those pump wagons are such good models.
Yeah.
I agree. Eat the rich.
I've got 2.
Huh?
I've got 2.
Okay, well, you might as well throw them in the bin, mate. Right.
but the solid point that they're even for 10 points, you wouldn't take them because they were that bad.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. So the key point I think to make is that is balance. I think is not a myth, but it's more rock paper. It's more done by the armies outbalancing each other. A lot of people in the chat are talking about we're going to need to take more shooting, and we talked about that last year already.
Everyone
said that.
Yeah.
So one of the key elements in the future, that we need to talk about is maybe we still need to take shooting, but. Is that going to be enough to kind of balance it? But interactivity has got nothing to do with us having kind of You can have a mismatched game which feels unbalanced because it's mismatched, but that's very different to. And you know
have
that
a shooting army against Deepkin.
Or something like that, I guess, But realistically, where it becomes problematic is when it's just uninteractive. Q Slanesh, and the talk about them. We'll get there later. Yeah. But interactivity needs to be the key focus of what we all try to achieve, right?
In fact, I'm going to check now.
Okay.
Just in case it's turned off. Oh, shit.
Lordwyn says no pump wagons, burn down Nottingham. Luke Doctor says, and I really do respect him as a person, but then also as a Flesh Eater Corpse player. Says Gorgon Terrorgeist is not that durable, so you don't need to put in too much to kill it.
What?
You don't.
It's
a 5-up save. Shoot it.
5-up?
It's got a 4-up save.
It's got a 4-up save.
4-up save.
And a 5-up, and then it can have a 5-up after damage save.
Yeah,
and then it has a 6-up after damage save.
And then it has a chalice where all the wounds just come back.
And it heals D3 every round.
God, this is why you shouldn't play Warhammer.
Do you want any
What's
more?
wrong with you?
Do you want us to say anything else?
It's probably one of the most durable units in the game.
Probably.
No, the Skaven have got that.
Well,
it's only 6 wounds.
The fighting twice should matter. Most armies can that trait. I disagree, but like I read it out because I want you to have a voice and say that.
Yeah.
I would say that, but obviously someone disagrees with that. So there's two sides to this. I think that the sheer volume of output, we've almost never seen that volume of output before from a single model in this game. It's bonkers when it fights twice. 840 points of combat now.
I got shocked to hell when the Khorne demon did it to me. Just as much damage. Get the living crap out.
I think Archaon damage output is probably the risk Archaon has is about there. However, Archaon is the Lord of the End Times and should be the big bad ass that he actually is, right?
Rend 1 on his sword. Wait, hold on. Random Dwardin with a tiny little saw. Rend 2.
Sure.
Wait, what's that sword called?
Slayer of Kings.
The Slayer of Kings. To be fair, Nathan always points out that kings are quite squishy generally. Like the French kings are pretty soft.
Yeah.
You won't need a big sword for that.
No.
It
doesn't just slay kings, it slays monsters as well.
Yeah. Oh, does he? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Red one sword. That's an old joke. Also, I just want to read out something because he's written it twice. Elbert says, FEC points wise, I'm glad the points cost increase is spread out. The old, AAR, the Abhorrent Arch Regent, Gorgon Terrorgeist and possible combo went up by 80 points. The Arch Regent on Terrorgeist is problematic due to stacking.
Regent on Terrorgeist.
So hitting all factors in that stacking with a lower increase is probably more balanced than just hitting one element. And if you look at when me and Specklesman did the Six Nations event, if you actually go and look at the lists for the Flesh Eater Corpse, which it was a hyper competitive field where nations were trying to win this tournament, you'll see that they almost all had the corpse card in it. Because they wanted +1 to cast. They wanted +1 to cast because they wanted to get off the spell that gave them a 5-up after damage save.
And
they
the chalice.
And they wanted to get the chalice off. So it was very important to them that the spell goes off. And spell synergy is the weakest type of synergy you can have in the game, with command ability being, ability being the most because it just happens, command ability being resource dependent, a prayer being on a roll, and then spell being not only I've got to cast it, my opponent can unbind it.
Yeah.
So that's the most unreliable of all. They've had a tough time. I personally, realistically, don't think it's enough of a hit to Flesh Eater Corpse. I think that they are still phenomenally good.
They are, but
and you're a Flesh Eater Corpse player, Simon, so you have the final.
So, as I spoke to somebody, asked me in the little WhatsApp group, they said, "Oh, what do you think?" I think, they needed a bit of a kick. They were strong, really, really strong. They still are strong.
Captain Obvious.
They were, all right, Peace Boy.
Peace Boy.
But when you look at some of the other newer stuff, like Slanesh,
it
decimates Flesh Eater Corpse.
Hang on, didn't you beat?
Well, because you can't roll fucking 2.
Well, you still beat him.
That's it. Well, it was literally luck. Super, super lucky.
Game's all about luck, mate.
Well, twice he rolled a 1 instead of a 2.
Based on that. We are going to talk about Slanesh again.
So when you play against them like that, and then you've got that 30-man unit from the Fire Slayers, and I've not actually looked at what the Skaven had done to them. Okay. There's some really strong armies out there now. Okay. Really, really strong. And fair enough, knock it back to the level that everybody else is prior to these books, but then nothing's progressing. Whereas these other ones are progressing to the point where they've gone to slip under the radar. This one.
I don't know. I think you're in a situation where it's just like you're trying to fix. It just the team's trying to fix a problem, while you've got new books coming out, General's Handbooks coming out. You're trying to fix a problem in a really over bloated like situation, and
we don't know what's coming. There's a lot of strong stuff out there.
No, that's a weak like that argument. By the way, doesn't fly. Like I'm going to shut that right down.
No, it's not an argument.
No.
Hold
on, I want to jump on that because it's a conversation that I fucking loathe. Yeah, and so I'm going to jump down its throat. Yeah.
Like, okay. Shit what you think,
mate. So anyone who argues that the game itself is currently unbalanced because we don't know what's going to come out next is a ludicrous response. Yeah.
No, that's not the point I was making.
Good. I just want that stated.
Next time, if you're listening, you might be
down our throats.
No, not yours. The arguments.
No. The point I'm making is that the game in itself is massively bloated and controlling all aspects of that game. You've got so much going on.
Hence why we need this.
Hence why they're in this position at the moment because it's not been. That's the point I was making.
Yeah, which is a solid point, and I agree with you wholesheartedly.
I mean,
the other point, don't let anyone ever row that with you because it's silly.
But you look at some of the stuff where Khorne are strong. They are really strong.
Khorne are strong. They're rubbish.
I don't know.
Wow.
I just think that. I think
that Bloodthirst.
I just
my terror guys.
Right,
no problem.
on paper, they're rubbish.
In battle,
I've had so much fun with Khorne. I know, but having said that, it's Archaon.
Strong or fun?
It's Archaon. Strong and fun. No, I've done.
I want to play Scarbrand. A big shout out to the Swedish Cap, who over at Blood Ties was just wrecking face with
that Bloodthirster that was
Scarbrand's scary as fuck.
Yeah, I really want to play with use him as kind
of like... Don't get close to him if he's not.
Which is the thing you can use on the tabletop, but he is slow.
He's not that slow when you automatically run, pile in 6. You know, he's got some tricks where you can make him move. You can make him move like twice with 3 blood type
Mark's been playing Khorne pretty seriously at the minute.
And so whenever I write a Khorne list, I look at it on paper and I go, that feels pretty weak. In reality, the problem is I've been just like purely running Archaon. I've tried non-Archaon and that is hard, but I didn't do the Bloodthirster lists. But
you're probably not going to.
I think the Bloodthirster list is still strong.
Bloodthirster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. 3 Bloodthirsters all fighting twice.
They've gone down in points as well.
Yeah, they've kind of.
I don't. I mean, yeah.
Don't know.
So Flesh Eater Courts. Yeah. So Twitch chat, you two. Was it? My question is, it's obviously a change, and not only is there a points hike, but there's also a change to the rules. Although there is a change. There's a positive change for the Flesh Eater Corpse in its striking twice ability when it dies.
Yeah.
There's also the loss of the Always Strikes First, and also generally command point poorer in this edition. How do you think Flesh Eater Corpse are going to do now? And do you think it's a positive change, or my question is it a good enough change or not far enough?
I think it's trying to fix a problem that they're never going to be able to fix. No. And I think the fact they can fight twice no matter what. Mm-hmm. Could they do that before, though? Can they do that before, though?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, but no. Well,
but we were all like, that's pretty bent. Probably you should fix that.
Yeah.
That's what we were waiting for today. We were like, can't wait for today. Today's Christmas.
But now, for me,
you ain't attacking me 4 times, dickhead.
When I was losing a Terrorgeist and going, I'm only going to attack with it once. I've just got a massive bonus because I'm going to attack with it twice.
My response is this.
You need to move in a tiny bit, and then you can. There you go. Right,
I did actually move.
Mine will be this.
Thank you so much. Malakri says not far enough. Frank says, big love. Frank says move to S tier to A tier. Pumpstone says to be fair, striking twice when it dies kind of offsets the fight twice. Only on the charge now. I agree with that. Changes are fine. Hope Games Workshop gets on with releasing newer stuff to counter it. Says Captain Andrew. That's true. Elmo, to be honest, it's not going to knock them out of the top 10. It's still going to make pure melee armies feel less important, which is true, but we are going to see a lot of Slanesh armies now. And then if it couldn't fight twice, it would be fine. I'd agree with that as well. And then Stonehewer says, I balance FEC by buying Slanesh. I think everyone's going to do that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. unless you meet someone who just can't roll above a 2.
I've yet to play Slanesh. I meant to last week.
Oh, you haven't had that uninteractive experience then? Have you charged them and then they've gone, no, I fight now?
No, my Khorne don't charge.
Forever?
Huh? My Khorne don't charge, do they?
Within 6?
Yeah.
So do you have to be within 6?
Yeah, you're within 6.
So their loci happens within 6?
Yeah? I've got to be just within 6.
So then they're loci. So then now you're striking last.
They have to roll above a 2.
Sorry.
That's only if you go for 1D.
Enjoy
They
that
can do that on
experience
multiple.
for the first time. It's about as fun
It's really, really
as your
fun.
old podcast.
When
I was.
No.
Oh, don't do that. That's
It is.
just rude.
Do you want to fight?
No, I don't want to fight.
It is fun though when your opponent rolls 1s. Then it's really fun.
Basically on a 2+,
you win.
They go first.
Yeah.
But it's only 5 out of 6 times.
And they can only do it multiple.
We need to shoot them.
But they can also do it multiple times as well.
That. Next up, talking about the army that can do it all. That's right. They're small, they're furry.
The Ironjaws.
They are the scourge of Redwall Abbey. That's right. It's the Skaven.
Oh shit.
Okay, so excited about to see what changes happen.
I'm slightly worried about
So
this
the
one.
most uninteractive thing that's ever been released in Age of Sigmar so far has been
Vortex.
the Warp Lightning Vortex, correct. It has had its rules changed. It now is you have to set up. So it said change the rule to set up wholly within 26 to wholly within 13. I think the rules writers thought that they'd written that the whole triangle has to be set up wholly within 26. But they had not.
No.
So it now costs 100 points to cast the first one 13. You then cast the other 2 have to be set up wholly. Doesn't say within. In fact, it just says within. So you can stretch it out a little bit because the bases are quite wide. 7 inches.
They've got to be fixed 7, haven't they?
No, it doesn't say that. It has to be 7.
It does
have to be 7.
It has to be 7 away.
But you can measure from any point on each base to any other point on each base and say 7, right?
Yeah.
So you could max it out.
Yeah.
So 7 inches beyond that. So 13 plus 7, 20. And then it affects units within 6 inches. So that would be 26. So it's got an effective range now of 26 inches.
But wait, that's so far back. How are they ever going to do it? Is that good?
I'm not feeling very well, but that really made me laugh. I really appreciate that. Thanks. So question. Do we think that that's enough of a fix?
No.
Fuck no. Thoughts? Twitch chat also thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is.
You think that's enough of a fix? It still activates in the hero phase and the movement phase. Do you think that's enough of a fix?
And you can still cast it on 3
right,
dice.
Where I say before, it could just get practically anywhere on the battlefield. This time round, first turn, you can set up 2 inches back and it can't get you.
But did you not get my joke on that one?
No.
But Rob,
we're not
how
finished.
can we do it?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I know all of that bull crap. Well,
Malakri says,
basically.
the question is though, how will they ever get a Grace here to 30 to cast it?
I know.
Well, I imagine you could do something like Skitterly.
Yes, yeah.
But
then that's like then nothing's changed.
Yeah.
If you consider that.
Pardon me?
But this time round, you've got to cast Skitterly.
Yeah, but understand that this is the environment where, this is the day of change. This is the day where we're like, to be fair, it is a change that it's harder to do. They have to use one of their spells to Skitterleap.
Yes.
Is it a spell for Skitterleap? I thought it was an ability.
No, a spell to cast Skitterleap.
Oh, I thought it was an ability.
No, so you've got to cast Skitterleap.
Very tough to do. Skaven get almost no bonuses to cast.
No,
I'm sure
none whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Can they not do it twice? I'm sure there's ways.
Yes, they can.
There's 2 Skitterleaps, yeah.
Okay.
And now, so there's been some great other clarity. So, question, is it enough of a change in the chat or not enough? For me, I would have liked to have seen it only activate the one time.
Yes.
Never.
But unfortunately, it activates twice. You think it's enough of a change, Mark?
No.
Not enough of a change.
I think it's a point in the right direction. So
they've gone. It's good over there, and then start here.
So I have this thing about when you make too many changes too quick, you can very quickly negate something too soon. So I understand what you're saying, and I would have liked to have seen it just do the once. It makes no sense, when you've got a standardized games plan.
And maybe at no point do D6 mortal wounds, because that's huge.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah, but then the Geminids can do D3 mortal wounds to everything without rolling dice.
But it's not everything though. And don't forget it goes off twice. You cast.
The going off twice makes no sense whatsoever. That is a simple fix of change rules. Yeah,
agreed. This, by the way, is the rules change day.
That would have fixed it. However, again, devil's advocate. Sometimes when you make when we need balance. This isn't a Tory This is very Tory of you, isn't it?
No politics on the show, please.
I mean, he's trying to sit on my knee right now.
Because then we'll start talking about my anarcho commune that I'm joining. Yeah, I'm going to be a warlock.
Sure.
Please continue.
But you are a warlock already. You have this thing where you make too many changes, it can just totally negate something and it ruins it. If you make too much, that's my devil's advocate point.
Sorry, hands up in the room who wants the vortex ruined.
I'll play fake and I want it ruined.
Not nerfed a bit, not hurt.
Fuck it.
Ruined.
Is that what you say to all the girls?
Yeah, I want it. I want it.
I want to ruin your vortex.
Let me just read out what the guys in the chat are saying. Brad Glover is in the room. I just want to say big love to Brad. He's a great hobbyist. Got here just in time for Skaven on my hobby break, but couldn't help but pop in and say hello. Hi, Brad. He's a lovely man. He's taking a bit of a break at the moment because he's hobbied too much. Because he's great. Is it exactly 7 apart? FAQ 2020. What is it? What is exactly? Yeah, but you can be. Never mind. Yeah. I'll show you a picture. I think the initial double tap should have been changed. Yeah,
it seems basic.
Yeah, it says new.
It just sort of breaks all the rules of the game.
Yeah,
as you know,
it at least needed a points riser, which FYI didn't get any points change.
Again, I don't think that would. I'll go back to the problem.
It's a rules fix that we needed. Stonehewer 6s could also not do D6 mortal wounds. I agree with that as well. Because a couple of lucky 6s and you just won the game.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, you're all dead. Oh.
Yeah, easy peasy. Captain Andrew says the Skaven player wasn't enough changes. Man, skit leap FAQ for them. Right, okay. So I haven't told you the next part, which is exciting. So there was a lot of questions raised, by our good rules police. Love you guys out there who do these questioning. So when you skit leap, obviously, like you set up, but then is that your move? You can't move in the next phase. And then with the Skaven gnaw holes, you're able to move, but like you're able to teleport through. Be like, that's a move. I can't move again. Like it's another setup. Can I do that? Dinghy. Yeah, exactly. So thankfully they've cleared it up. So skit leap next to a gnaw hole in my movement phase. Can I go through the gnaw hole and go back? Yes or no?
Obviously no, because that would be great.
Mark,
you know what's coming.
Mark,
it's Christmas Day.
As we know.
Mark,
what would you like to see happen?
What do you think?
That's my grandma calling me.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh. What do you think? Yes or no?
Sure, of course I can.
Of course you can.
Why not?
Now, of course you can. So that's obviously huge. So the risk would be I skit leap my wizard, then I do the vortex, then he's out there, then he's out there, and he's going to get charged.
Can't you do 2 skit leaps and bring him back with another spell?
I'm not sure about that, but skit leap's quite short range. I very much doubt it, realistically. However, never mind. You just teleport him back through the thing. Now the big question is can I cast a Bellwind vortex, go through the tunnel, or skit a leap, and still be on the Bellwind vortex? Yes or no?
Surely a no. Surely a no.
Yes or no?
How do you...
Yes or no?
Oh, why? What the fuck, man?
Yes or no?
Why?
Yes or no?
I know what's coming.
What is this fucking QI? Are you going to be a big screen behind us?
Yeah. I'm the guy off Peep Show.
Obviously, it shouldn't. But I'm guessing.
Oh my god, yes.
What the fuck? He says that.
Yeah.
You can take a Bellwind vortex right now.
Yeah.
So
a great argument a lot of people are having at the moment is like, well, if you can do it, then Sylvaneth can do it, and fucking Netdeep can do it, and fuck you. We're all going to stand on a Bellwind vortex and teleport all around the fucking world. Which is kind of exciting, but also awful. Yeah.
Is that what it says? Does it specifically say you can do that?
Yes, it specifically says you can do it.
Wow.
Would you like me to read it for you?
So would that the bridge then?
Shh, we're waiting.
Okay.
We need to wait in silence. We don't fill gaps.
No, you fill gaps.
Yeah.
Rob's poor quality show.
Feel free. No.
But that would mean that new fucking bone bridge.
Yeah.
That means you can then just move the Bellwind vortex over a bridge.
No, because you can't move a Bellwind vortex. Maybe you can actually. You probably can with the bridge.
I mean,
you probably can with the bridge.
It can do it with a fucking rat hole. So why not a bridge?
Well, it's just really exciting, I think. And I know what you were wondering. You were like, they needed the help because they've
just in case
such a shitty army.
I can't quite get that spell all the way on the other side.
So, does a Bellwind vortex with a Skaventide hero atop it travel with the hero if they use Skitterleap? Answer: yes.
Oh, Skitterleap, not the null hole.
With Skitterleap, it says.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were saying the normal.
Can tunnels through reality ability on Gnawhole War Scrubber using the time used movement phase in total, or one per Gnawhole, one in total. So the other thing I haven't told you. So that's the changes to Skaven for Magic, which isn't enough. And Games Workshop, you've done a shit job. Following up, if a unit has cast both Death Frenzy and Dreaded Death Frenzy on the same unit, can the models pile in and attack twice when slain? Now, we've read the corn thing, because one would be after the other, so obviously no. So the answer is...
Yeah!
Yay!
Well, they can't let these terror guys do it on their own. There need to be two villains out there.
So that's just exciting for all of us, I think.
So Death Frenzy, is it they fight twice, is it?
Pardon me?
What,
yeah,
Death Frenzy.
Death Frenzy, if you're murdered, yeah, you can fight once you're murdered, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one, you can do it as well. So if you do both onto a unit, can I activate both abilities when I die?
So they fight twice when you die?
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed they went up in points.
Who?
The Plague Monks.
The Plague Monks did.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
I'm really hoping they've gone up so much.
So many points.
Because they're probably about a 450 point unit.
They are very good.
You mean like the same points you would probably put a terror guys, 450, 500 kind of mark?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, their damage output's about that, right?
Yeah, about the same.
So overall, how would you feel? Oh,
is that it?
Edwards, thank you for. That's all of the.
That's it.
That's all of the changes.
Fuck.
They should clip that. How well did you do?
We've got points changes.
We have got point
Let's wait
changes
for
to
that.
come, so that's exciting. Dreadwoods, way to celebrate well balanced and well written FAQ. Love smiley face. That's all. If they already have bought before they die, they get 3 total combats. #balance. That's true. You can charge, fight, then you can attack. Kill them back if for some reason you're alive. Why would you be? Right? Have you ever fought them? And then they can attack you back twice.
Has anything ever survived a Plague Monk attack that charges?
Has anything survived a Plague Monk attack when they've all attacked?
I don't think. Maybe those Hearthguard things you spoke to me about, but even at that.
Even they'd be a struggle.
Anyway, so overall, that is the rules changes for Skaven. What they seem to have done is...
Forget it.
Kind of forgot most of the rules and then given them a bunch of bonuses. I see everything they've got as a bonus with the exception of the Vortex, which is still just as strong.
How is that not a bonus? Being able to take a Bellwind Vortex with you on a Skitterleap?
I don't. I actually, in a really weird way, I don't think it matters because you're skitterleaping to an area. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit stupid, really. But you're skitterleaping so far forward, you're going to be in range of whatever we're going to blam, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't think it matters.
Really?
I think
of course it doesn't matter.
Well, what would happen? What kind of bonus do you get to your save when you're on terrain?
Well, you get +1.
Yeah.
So that thing that can do like
if they skitterleap into their own Gnawhole, then that Grey Seer actually gets +2 to its save.
Is it in a cover save? On the...
No, Bellwind Vortex isn't a cover save, it's +1 to your save. You can actually cast Bellwind Vortex on top of, unless they changed it at some point. As far as I currently understand it,
the rules aren't clear enough because I always avoid going on terrain on my Bellwind just because it's just
you don't have the conversation.
No.
Yeah, plus you're playing a Warhammer World and everything's stuck in and it's on the Realm of Battleboard, it'll fall over.
But you can still skitterleap it
totally
with its buff. Then, just in case. Well,
I just don't. I equally. Again, it seems like they've fixed a problem which never existed. I've never seen anybody do that.
I
anyway,
can see loads of people doing it now.
Somebody's taken the time to write that, and I just feel it's like a problem they've solved which never existed.
Yeah. Agreed.
I want to see the person who does it to me though. I'd love to see.
I think I might get a Skaven just to do it to you.
Just
you can paint mine if you want.
I've bought and sold a Skaven army.
I sold one last week. Next week.
Anyway, so overall, Twitch chat. This is obviously for you guys. Tyler Jacobs Slash is probably one of the strongest armies in the game. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah. Anybody read Japanese, by the way?
No, yes, that would be how. Actually, Colonel Cabbage does, but he's not here. My question is, do you guys think that they've done enough for Skaven?
I think I've given my reaction.
I know, but I just want you to go. Have they done enough or not too far?
I think in context.
Fuck. I'll reiterate that.
Good.
I think without points cost, I don't know what the points changes have been made.
Right, well, there we go. I can't wait to do this. Look, pass the book, and I've written all the points, because we've passed the rules now. I just want everyone to 100% understand that not only do I think that they did a woeful job with the rules changes, embarrassingly so, and other game developers should look at them and laugh. Like school.
You're going to say Malfoy?
No, I reckon like other game developers, like, you know, when they go to Gen Con, I do really worry that Games Workshop like kind of sit in a corner and then the other people just kind of like go.
But we all play their game.
And they make millions of pounds. And that's the only metric they give a fuck about. How much money do they make?
But we all play it though. You can't sit there and like
the end of this
so
conversation. The end of this conversation is going to be, I'm fucking super hyped to play Age of Sigmar this whole year. Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm really confused by your sentiment, because we're laughing and having a joke about it, right? And my entire life revolves around taking the piss out of people.
You can
and I love it. Yes, I know. Thanks. Captain Obvious again. Thanks.
Go on,
Captain
boy. Go on. What's your point? What's your question? Is it a question to me personally?
Maybe.
Go on, go for it. I'm well up for it. Because it's a good question.
I mean, I personally love that personality. I'm taking the piss out of it because I love it. Yeah.
No, it's not what it is. Because as far as I understand it, like the people
I'm really perplexed by my
Kids
feelings
watching,
and
this is
the
mummy
way
and daddy fight while son sits in the corner.
No. I'm perplexed by your response, but even my own internal response, because I think a lot of it. I think the game, like I repeat, bloated, all that. Like the game is bloated, but I love it still. So I find it a really odd place to be in. Now, for somebody, the way you've talked about it, I question why you play it.
Oh, so I love it.
Don't. Jonathan's trying to take him away from us.
Well, no,
really?
Yeah, he's trying to play Malifaux, but I don't want to because I love Age of Sigmar. Right? Let me tell you, like, it's a great point. It's a great question as well. So number one, like my job, as I understand it, when I do this show, like for people listening and everyone around the world, number one is to be an advocate for all of us as consumers, and that's true. Like, because we are all consumers. But where the whole point about and we talked about this when FYI Mark helped come up with the name for the Honest Wargamer.
You just outed me.
Yeah, there you go. I've just outed you, right?
I don't think I helped. I think I made it.
Okay, the whole point about the show, and you know this, as our raison d'etre, is because we are not giving anything for free. Games Workshop offered us some free rule books. They said, we'll give you some stuff. And we said, no. We said, that's really nice of you, but we don't want them because we want to be impartial and we want to be fair. And the criticisms or the review that we're giving is fair. Like, they released digital points. I was like, fucking great job. That's really good. Everything that's good, I'll say that's good. Everything that's shit, I'll say is shit. My feelings about the game after that are what I deal with personally, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm well excited. I'm really excited about getting my teeth into Tzeentch and seeing how it works. The game, do you remember when you and me played Malekith versus Ripperdactyls?
Yeah.
So this is going back nearly 4 years. Mark had to watch me roll dice for, I think, 15 minutes.
I also had the same thing with Fat Craig, where he was rolling his Ripperdactyls versus my 10 Cold One Knights, and I said, I'm going to go toilet. Carry on rolling your
I used to have rippers, so I know I did the same thing.
I went to the toilet, and it was at, have you been to Firestorm? You've been to Firestorm?
Yeah.
We were at the other end of the hall at Firestorm, and the toilets were, and it's a long hall, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I walked all the way to the toilet. Probably did number 2, because, you know.
Why not? Why rolling rippers?
And then I came back and he was still rolling dice. So, yeah.
Right, so and to take a more modern, and that was dumb. Yeah, that was me rolling 1 billion dice versus your 2-up save, half in the wounds. I did like 1 damage in the end. And then I croaked you and you were salty as shit. Also, big love to Terry. Also croaked him. Nearly quit Age of Sigmar because that's why he paints now. That one game.
Don't blame him. I really don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
A perfectly sound, levelled response. Actually, I would have judged him had he have not.
But as a more recent example, when I was at Adepticon, I played Tony Pete, which was a delight for me because I got to play a hero. I also got to play Sean, who's in the chat right now. I played 2. I got to play a group of loads of other people as well that were fantastic. Yeah. But those 2 games were games that I lost. I had to play against Flesh Courts twice, and it was fucking awful. But the game wasn't. I had 2 awesome games, which I lost. Like, I was like shutting down their movement. I was doing these trades, and eventually my army couldn't.
Just ask him what spell he took with him there to do that when you're
What, Lightning Vortex?
Oh, you never drop that one, do you, normally?
As an ally.
And what other ally did you have in that?
Masculine Sinesh.
And what happened with that?
Wow.
Half the movement.
Man,
But my point is,
you're like a
And what
liberal
other
who
spells
votes
did you
Tory.
have? What other spells did you have?
however, my point, the best allies I could find, 400 points of pure ally. My point is that those games were incredible. Like, even though I lost, and they were really hard. Like, and again, I played against Daughters of Cain recently. That fucking sucked. But the game, even though the rules were bent and it was stupid, my opponent wasn't. I've had like some fucking great laughs. Like with all sorts of people with their bent as shit armies, and that's
Speckles
why.
in his back.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, just because I love the game and I love the people I play games with, that they've done a good job. Because
I sit here and
they've
listen.
done a shit job.
Yeah. I get that.
Right, Mummy, Daddy, can we
Right, and that's
get
my
on
job,
now?
right? My job is to be fair, and that's why the Twitch chat are
Mummy.
They're the other person in the room. Normally, it's them. They're like, Rob, come on, do you think that's right? And I'm like, I reckon so. But I read out when other people disagree, because that's why Speckles is here, for the counterpoint and his narrative fleshy.
Mummy, Daddy, calm down now. Let's go points.
We're pretty calm. It's just a
I mean,
good-
I don't know who's the mummy and
it's a
who's the
good
daddy in
question.
this
What
one.
the hell is he going to counterpoint?
Well, I'm just excited. I get to carry on doing something with my
Malekith says you can be mad about something you love. I'm not mad, because I know Games Workshop are bad at this. Change my mind.
Well, I have this
to
thing.
me a place where they're good.
So I have this thing where like I stopped going to the heats because of the feeling I
Boards,
got.
The heat, the closeness of the men. Come on.
The one reason why I stayed.
But you know, it's one of those things. At the point you dislike it, why do you carry on playing it?
Yes, and to quote my friend Joe Purcell, it's your hobby, right? Yeah. Like, and while this is now what I do for work, like I still thoroughly love playing Warhammer.
Yeah.
Like it's really fun. I'm playing it all of Friday and Saturday with my friends.
I think it's always important to remember that because you know, if I was a new listener listening to the way we've been talking about it now, I'd be like, what the fuck are these guys
Don't
playing the
fucking
game?
have me in this. Just Mum and Daddy talk. I'm staying out of this.
Well, because I am known for being a negative ninny.
Oh yeah.
When I used to be in
You are hated in all of Australia.
Yes.
and I don't blame them.
Good.
Even though you've never been, or have you been?
Yes,
No,
I've been.
one Australian came here once and he hates Mark.
Oh,
It
yeah.
wasn't
And
even
now all of Australia
Excuse
hates Mark.
me, it wasn't even Australian.
It doesn't matter. All of Australia hates you. Live with it.
Actually, no. Anthony's alright with me. He loves me.
And Mick Wendell points out the other great bit about the game, obviously, is all the people, right? Me and Mark are lifelong friends. Simon, me and you are lifelong friends because of the game. Yeah.
Right, gay.
Only you get to say that. Right. Do you want to talk about the points?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So which one do you want to talk about first, Skaven?
Sure.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
We'll go backwards.
Okay. Well, Corn then.
Sure, whatever.
Okay. Well, that's the first one in here.
Do it then.
Blades of Corn.
Blades.
So Skull Cannons have taken a points reduction. They were previously 140 points, and now 130 points.
Wow.
That will change zero.
I'm going to.
10 whole points of.
I'd buy 10 boxes right now because they shoot twice.
I'm sure there's quite a few people out there who might be able to sell you 10 boxes.
I reckon there is. The trade, you can buy a lot of those free on eBay.
Yeah.
Not
Along
free,
with the
but
Wildwood.
cheap. Blood Secretor, 140 points previously. Pretty good in the game. Mark, would you say mandatory in the army or not?
A lot of people don't take him. I think he's pretty. I would still take him more than 40.
Yeah. Right, sweet. 120. That's fantastic. Gone cheaper. I think that's good. Yeah. Scar Bloodwrath was 120 points. Now 100 points.
I thought he was 80 and went up by 20.
No, he used to be 80 before the new Corn book went up to 120, and now he's back down to 100.
So I think he's an interesting one. Going on to anyway. Remember that thought about Scar. Remember.
Okay.
Valkyria the Bloody, 120 points of pure in every Corn list you've ever seen. This is sarcasm.
She ruins hobby.
Huh?
Ruins hobby.
Yeah, whole hobbies.
Absolutely.
People have quit the game
Yes,
because of Valkyria the hobby killer Valkyria. Valkyria the Bloody. She is phenomenal. Mark, how many times do you take her in your army lists?
Do you own her?
Did you?
I really, really want to.
Did you ever take her once?
I really want to.
So she's not good. She's gone up 20 points.
Sure.
Bloodthirst with Incessant Rage now. Here we're getting into it.
I mean, these points values, I think, were okay.
Yeah, and now they're just differently okay.
Well, they've kind of got worse. With the tyrants, with the other rules.
Oh yeah, Corn got worse because the FAQ, way worse.
Because Corn really needed to be here.
Yeah, they did. Bloodthirst with Incessant Rage. Yeah, from 280 points down to 270 points.
Oh, that's not right then. It's still ridiculously powerful.
It is good. Bloodthirst with Unfettered Fury, though, gone down by 30 points from 300 to 270.
Which is the one that can do like 5 attacks.
No, that's the best one. That is by far the best one you would still. If that went up by 20 points, I'd still take it.
The one that does 5 attacks.
And it's still got.
No. It's the one that lets you pile in 6 inches.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best one.
I don't know.
Hands down the best one because of what it does to
Hands
the
up,
rest of
best
the
one.
Hands down the best
The other one that I played, it's the same amount of damage my Terrorgeist did. I killed it, and then because I killed all the other stuff, it come fucking back.
What?
Because he summoned it back on.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was like, literally just killed that. And then he went, I'm back now.
All right, fight twice when you die.
Well, I can do now. But I can only kill it once, and then I'm dead, and it's back.
Scarbrand was 400 points, gone down to 380. Which is good. Yeah. And then the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster was 320 and has gone down to 300. So 10 to 30 point drops for all of the Bloodthirsters. And also the Skull Cannon, 10 points cheaper.
That's what big models, I think.
As an apology.
Those... Again, the focus on those points drops is just focused in the wrong area. I personally, I think those Bloodthirsters, maybe 270 is about right now. Because you've got to remember, they're move 10. So they're not quick. They're not fast, and they've got 4 up armor save with 14 wounds. They're not very durable. No
after damage save?
No.
No innate 6-up save?
No.
Can't heal wounds?
There are some ways you can, but it's spending blood tithe points.
Not just cast a chalice and get
just bring it back after it dies.
Yeah, but you got to kill 8 units to do that, and then you lose all your blood tithe points, and you can't. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand your point there. The best you can do is give it a 3-up save with a prayer.
Malakri points in the chat. 10-inch move with fly. Slow. My poor Trog boss.
It's a combat unit. It's not. It's not.
If it gets into combat, it'll womp you.
Yeah, a good point out from Raker says I've gone down. They have gone down because they've just gone up £15 because there's been a pounds increase.
So the massive issue I have with the Khorne book is the fact the mortal stuff. None of the mortal stuff's been touched.
No.
Which is like they've spent all this time probably looking at the Bloodthirster stuff. Well, actually, the real issue is all this mortal stuff, which is massively overpointed. It's all movement 5 with a 4-up save. Skull Reapers, no rend, 180 points for 5 models. You can't teleport them. You can't do anything with them. And there's just they've missed a lot, and it's quite sad that they've missed the opportunity.
They haven't missed the ability to put a wizard on a Bellwind Vortex and then Skittle Leap it
and then move it wherever you want.
I'm glad they've spent time thinking about that and not thinking about the mortals.
It kind of sounds like the tripping acid, to be fair.
Because they've not.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love Speckles.
See a little rat
just looks at it and goes, like a dad, and you are a dad. Like, these motherfuckers are on acid. This is too far.
No, not the Khorne. The rat on the vortex.
You kind of remind me of like a man who's like on a swing outside of his porch. Yeah, the Games Workshop rules writers walk on your lawn, and you're like, get your ball and your rules off my lawn. I agree with you, Mark. I think, but that's while Khorne is your current focus. That's true for lots of the units across the game, right? Like, a lot of the units just aren't really applicable.
I agree. And I guess it's that one thing, like, so my focus at the moment is Khorne. Could I point them now? I could probably do a good job at it, because I know that book inside out. Ask me to do an Ideneth one, I'd probably I'd give you that emoji. So it requires somebody who's really sort of knows the book, but has a degree of understanding about what other things. So again, I'm sorry, I'm going to be Games Workshop, play devil's advocate.
Corporate show.
I knew that was good.
I'm waiting for, and it is hard. But I brought back down to overplayed game, too much in the game, all that shenanigans. But it's some of it is blindingly obvious that you're not seeing Wrathmongers, you're not seeing Skull Reapers, and the models themselves are so much fun. They're so good. My Khorne army, I've gained 60 points. Yeah. Now, so I question then, what do I get? So my army, I gain the Wrathvax. What other? Maybe I can get.
Wrathvax is good though.
Yeah, no. So, but it's So yeah.
If it
so
goes,
I basically. Yeah, that's the problem. It just disappears. It's I gain the axe. Is it going to change my army significantly? No, it's not.
Well, no, you're right. Apart from, did you happen to ever take Blood Warriors in 5s? Can you take them in 5s? Yeah. Did you ever take them in 5s?
No.
Well, so one of the other things that I just forgot to read out though, because I didn't think it was important. Raker, thanks for subscribing. Is it says you can have a special weapon per 10, and if you take less than 10 Blood Warriors, for instance, then you can't.
No.
There you go. Which makes sense.
But you get a liberator. You can have 5 liberators, the same points values. Yeah. 5 liberators. That one of the 5 can have a great weapon.
Yeah,
fancy.
Or adjudicators as well.
Read out Haywo's point. Look, there was no time. Yeah, and this is a well thought out point. Look, there was no time nor room to fit help in there for weak units or faction abilities. Mark, in the book designed to fix that. Yeah, this entire update designed to fix it. They needed to waste all their time and effort on a broken on arrival bullshit alternative 1,000 point format no one wanted. You gimp.
Do you know what?
Did you write that last bit, or did you add that?
I'm just gonna.
You wholeheartedly agree.
I'm done.
Don't be done.
I'm done. Yeah, I agree. I stand massively corrected.
Just been shocked at. Yep, can't argue with that at all.
Right, next up. Don't worry though, because we're on to Skaven. You ready? The point changes for Skaven. Corn points changes. Anyone thoughts? Final thoughts? In the room, Simon. Final thought.
Fine.
It's not made any changes whatsoever.
Yeah. Apart from the FAQ, which made it worse. Yeah. And also,
but Corn, that happened with Corn. The Corn book came. The Corn book came out, and the Corn book was technically one big nerf bat to the Corn book. It had a few bonuses, but generally, generally across the board, it was a nerf bat.
Agreed. Next up, Skaven Tide.
I want to know how much a Grey Seer with the Bellwind Vortex, with the Warp Lightning Cannon. The Warp Lightning.
I can't tell you that, but I can tell. I probably could, but just give me a minute. If someone wants to work it out for.
I think Vortex is it.
So currently, I'm going to go through these. Help It Abomination.
I love that.
It was 220 points. He is now 240 points. 20-point increase.
Oh, it was a nice model.
He does pump out a lot more wood.
He's really good.
But I've never seen anybody take it.
No. Well, you'll see someone who comes to Warhammer World this weekend.
He is good. I like him.
Yeah.
So the Grey Seer. Now this is a 2-cast wizard. Incredibly good. Can cast a dice on 3 spells. If he rolls a 13, he might die. Oh, the risk! Terrible news. He's got a great, his own great spell. Access to a great spell lore. Was 120 points. Simon Mark, where would you point him?
I mean, I'd put him down the same level.
Got to go down.
You look so dead right now. You're like, fuck this.
It should be the same level as an Archregent. I think.
So previously the Archregent was at 200 points.
200 points.
Yeah. So you think around
that?
Not 5
well,
wounds.
You've got. Yeah,
what do you think, Mark?
5 wounds. It can take a 4.
So if we look at other 2-cast wizards,
what else?
Let's say for example,
Lady Linda, 220.
No, that's a big monster. I'm more thinking. So for 106 160 points, a Sangor Shaman.
Yeah.
It's movement 16, can cast 2 spells and re-roll.
Or just pick your own fucking dice.
And buffs other units. Yeah. So you've got for 160 points, you've probably got on par. You know, I know a Grey Series 2 spells every turn. So you're looking, but then you've got the movement with and the unit buffs. So I think on par probably 160.
Okay. Well, he's gone up by 20 points and he's 140.
Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say because so the game, and I had a lovely time talking to both Vince and Tom on Warhammer Weekly about this. What makes a good list competitive, or like what you tend to see in lists. And we talked again about the Flesh Eater Corpse armies where they would have the corpse cart because what they wanted was more reliable casting. Yeah. It's about reliability. You normally see reliability is key. And what's great about the Grey Seer, ignoring his 2-cast capacity, is the fact that he gets to roll 3 dice, pick the 2 highest. So, and there's loads of other ways to be able to make them cast better, but that's a really high probability that you're going to get off the spell that you need to get off. And so for that ability alone, I would give him like a little bit of an increase. So 160 to 180. I think 180 feels nice, but 140 is still very, very cheap.
Yes.
20 points per cast. Sorry. So I don't think that's...
Has he still got the 5 at Feel No Pain?
No, because that's only on Vermin Lords.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he's just, he is a wizard out there on his own. But anyway, too cheap, in my opinion, still. Next up. But not in your opinion, you think 140 is okay?
No, I would want to look at it, judge it against across the board, because if everything, I mean, it's what they did to Tzeentch. They just went to Tzeentch, blanket plus 40 points to everything, and then it just made the whole army sort of pretty unplayable. So, if everything has gone up 40 points, then maybe not.
The counterbalance.
Sorry, hold on. The Grey Seer does have a 5 up after DPR. So I got that wrong.
The Ghoul King, a basic Ghoul King, he's 140 points. Well, he was 140 points. A basic Ghoul King.
He's 160 now.
Oh, you were gonna. Oh, I'll just take the whole thing away.
You're setting a.
I was setting up, ready for it.
Listen. This
okay,
is why you should. This is why you shouldn't try and do funny things.
Well, it's because he fucked it. Like that could have been something. But
Oh,
then,
wait, hold on,
no.
Night Scribe. Yeah, I didn't think the Footslog. I don't think has the 5
Whatever.
up after damage save.
Dick.
I'm sorry, boys.
Do you want me to look?
Anyway, no, it's fine. It's not a stress. I still think it's too cheap because of its capacity to do output as opposed to its survivability.
Yeah,
right?
I just
now
want to look
cheaper
at the
than
rest of the
Dawkins.
army.
So, however, there's something that I know triggers Mark. Yeah?
Okay.
Ding dong, ding dong.
The bell.
The screaming bell with the crazy eye was 200 points.
It
Mark,
was.
you played against that.
Yeah, no, I've played against 3 of them.
And how was that experience for you?
Interesting.
Yeah?
Gracie doesn't have the 5 up.
I didn't think he did.
Unless-
But, it's okay. The
Unless
guys in the chat
it's in the book.
the guys in the chat have helped me out. It doesn't have a 5 up after damage save. So thank you very much. I didn't think it did. That was my original position, but
Alright,
I've been
hurry
wrong
up.
several times.
Hurry up.
Anyway,
Tom's going.
Gracie on Screaming Bell
Um,
was 200 points.
210.
220.
Oh!
220.
Super too cheap still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Give me a point. Just pick me a random.
I know how
Twitch
you.
chat.
I know how you fix bells.
How do you fix them? Throw them in a bin.
No, give them the word unique.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
A Gracie is now the same cost as a Gutbuster Butcher. Finally balanced. I think you'll find, Haywo, that a Gutbuster Butcher is as deadly as he ever was.
Well, yes.
Big shout out to Doom of Darkness as well. Plague Priest on a Plague Furnace was 180 points.
Never played against it, so I can't really comment.
140.
It's got cheaper now. It's gone up to 200 points. The Vermin Lord Corruptor, 260 points. The ability to make everything within 20 inches immune to battle shock. 260 points he was. How many points now? Don't forget, 12 wounds, 4 up save, 5 up after damage save. Absolutely dumb. 2 cast wizard. Insane. Scragrot's 220. Stupid as fuck. What do you think?
Stayed the
100
same.
points.
What?
Stayed the same.
No, he's gone up by a total of 20 points. He's 280 points. So probably still 100 points too cheap. Next up, Verminlord Warbringer. So he had the devastating ability to make plague monks fight and pile in after they kill.
Yeah.
What's 260 points now?
280.
280.
Oh,
correct.
wow.
280. Yeah. Thank you very much. The Warp Seer, not the Corruptor. The Warp Seer makes them immune to battle shock. The Corruptor's got the badass spell though.
Yeah.
What's his command ability? +1 attack on noble units. I think Verminlord Warp Seer was 260. 4 up, rerollable save that you can make ethereal. Give him a 5 up after
That's
damage
like
save.
the best thing in the game.
It is the best thing in the game. And Games
was
Workshop
he?
agreed with you. He was 260 points and they thought that is too cheap. We're going to make him 300 goddamn points.
Wow.
And what did you guys think of that?
Ah, shit.
I don't.
300 points.
Again, everything's going up.
Yeah.
What do they lose? So let's get what I think.
They
If
can
we're
only
gonna
take-
take a real serious review at it,
Friends.
you want to look at.
No, they lose friends, like you.
Yeah.
You've got friends, probably.
I just want to try it. If you want to serious look, it's like what was the list? What was the bent list with the 4 Vermin Lords and the spells?
Yeah.
You know what. Tom Ward's list. Tom Ward's
Sheffield Slaughter.
sort of. Let's take that as an example. Whether or not that's been
He'll
changed.
I think
I
think they've lost about 100 points.
Yeah. Like Geminids and another spell.
So Geminids is gonna.
Yeah, but they've taken-
Each
No,
that's what I
vermin,
mean.
each
They've
vermin,
lost those
but
spells,
each
that's
Vermin
about
Lord
it.
has gone up to. That's 80. So it's more than 100 points.
80, about 100 points. Because
But
there's
there's
no.
only 3 of them gone up.
Yeah.
Did you not have loads of plague monks?
No.
He had 1 unit of Plague Monks, so we got to that now. Plague Monks were 70 points for 10, 240 for the block of 40.
Yeah.
God.
So these are incredibly destructive. If you want to go buy yourself something
Like,
this
it's
year that's
just
going to go
a
kick
big,
base.
massive terror, guys.
So now there is 80 points for 10. They're nowhere near as good.
80 points for 10.
And then 280 points for 40.
Wow.
So they've gone up by 40 points.
40 points.
So when you start adding it up, what are they? Have
So
they lost,
Night Scribe's just pointed out most lists have gone up 150 to 200 points, and these are major changes. Night Scribe though, but what you had in the Skaven list before is why you say it's gone up 200 points. Yeah, that's
You had
you're
300 points too much.
way more than that.
Yeah, at
like,
least.
realistically, there's nothing that Plague Monk unit doesn't delete. And then
No.
if I make it so that it hits you back after, there's no valuable trade.
That would win against
I would
Terror Guys
argue that there's
any day.
almost nothing that's 280 points. Sorry, that's cheaper than 280 points that I send into the Plague Monks that kill it dead in one go, Yeah,
And then it dies.
And then the plague monks then kill it back, right? So then that's a trade. So I have to accept that as a loss. And then have you ever tried to roll out the damage that you can do to vermin lords at range? Like, have you ever tried to like kill one with like shooting, like pick a thing? Like,
I don't have shooting.
It's dumb. It's a 4-up save, flat, doesn't matter, like nothing else, and then a 5-up after damage save. Like, with 12 wounds, they're fucking unreally tanky. Like, they're so tanky. They're so tanky. So yeah. Anyway, and then Rattling Gun has gone down 20 points.
Oh, there was loads of those around.
Yeah.
Might be loads now.
Yeah.
Might be
They can
loads.
go, actually, I can skittily a rattling cannon onto a vortex, onto a screaming bell, and then Jimmy the Lock across.
Yeah. So Iron Jaws, 10 Ard Boys can wipe out 40 plague monks for 140 points. There you go.
I guess that's the way round, isn't it?
What?
Swap.
10 R. Can 10 R boys kill 40 plague monks?
Maybe.
There's lots of wars.
Malagry definitely thinks
lots
so.
of wars.
And then one of Rogue says, I don't even bother trying to kill a Warps here anymore. Like,
No.
It's got a 4-up rerollable save and a 5-up left damage save.
And then it can re-roll its 5-up.
If it casts a spell.
But then you think, I'll scream at a rat because rat's got fuck all bravery. It's a 10.
Huh?
I can't use my Togar Screams or any of the...
Yeah, no,
Hold on.
It's
Malagry's
10.
saying with plus 16 attacks, you can wipe out the Plague Monk on the Ard Boys.
So
plus
16
16.
wars.
Yeah, plus 16.
Is that warring 16 times?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or whatever it might be.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, however, Storm Vermin went down. They were 140 points and 500 points for a whole block of 40. They're now 120 points and 450 points for the block of 40. So you're still not going to take them because there's a cost benefit analysis where the Plague Monks are still better.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you get like practically double plague monks, right?
Yeah.
You can almost get 2 units of Plague Monks for that cost. So why would you? Yeah. Anyway, so overall, how do you feel they did with the points changes for Skaven? It's really nice telling it to someone because then it's like I'm not having to like relay it.
So what do they? So what do they lose? What
So
so
it depends though because all the lists are different.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
There was 160 Plague Monk lists.
Yeah.
So now there are only 120 Plague Monks.
Or 140. It's like...
Well, right.
Meh.
Like the 4 Screaming Bell list, for instance, which you had to play against,
It's gone up 80 points.
Has gone up 80 points, but that doesn't include obviously your free Vermin Lord. If you have to roll a 12, you've got 4 chances to do that. In my opinion, they've lost nothing. Like, no, they have. Quantifiably, they've lost points. That's true. But I would say that they had so much output in all of their capacity that they...
I felt they had excess.
I think that they had excess.
They didn't care when they lost bits. It's like, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's probably helped a lot.
I don't know. I'm
Wandering Rogue in the chat says, my Heat 1 list came second and it went up 80 points. Which isn't a lot to lose.
I don't know. I'm gonna. I'd want to see it in practice first. No, I probably would. I should be with you by saying, it's bent. However, part of me wants to kind of see, if other armies have gone cheaper, like my Cornice has gained 60, the Skaven has, maybe gone up by 80, 120. There's a difference there of 150 points. Will that make much of a difference? I'd like to see it in action before I pass judgment.
Okay.
But I'm not bowled over by it. I'm not gone. This is really changed up the game.
I think it's super poor.
Yeah, I think you've gone. You kind of like tittivated around the edges. You've not made any real.
No substantive change. A bit like your opinion. Speckles, what do you think quickly about the Skaven changes?
Bullshit.
What do you think?
In comparison to the stuff I use, some of the shit, it's just bullshit. Bullshit.
Okay, all right.
They've not actually, like you said, they've not done anything. Really.
However, let's get to Feck.
Yeah.
Flesh Eater Courts. Abhorrent Arc Region, 200 points, changed to 240. Excellent change. I think that's about fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice. And especially not allowing you to have 2 as mercenaries is a great call.
Yes.
Big fan of that. Yeah. Abhorrent Ghoul King has gone up by 20 points. No one cares.
Well, I did. It fucks me over. But, it was. I don't think it needed to go up at all.
Okay. And then the Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist. The Terror of the Skies.
Yeah.
The Smasher of
The fluffiest
11
of all.
tournaments in 3 months. It is disastrously good with a 64% win rate in the last edition.
What you mean that one
Has
model?
gone up 20 points.
Oops.
Whoops.
Can we just get a bit?
Clip that.
Can we get just a moment of silence on that and a bit of tumbleweed?
Yay!
It's not all doom and gloom though, because Crypt Horrors have gone down 10 points.
Yeah, I did speak to
From 160 to 150.
Yeah, I mean,
I find it really odd they've started doing odd numbers.
I know 150. I suppose that's 2 units of nothing, and no one's ever going to take.
But what they've gone down 10. What are you gaining from
the
that?
spells have gone up as well,
You're right. The Cadaverous Barricade has gone up 10 points.
which is never seen.
Chalice of Ushran, where you could heal back 1,000,000 wounds, has gone up 10 points. And then the Corpsemare Stampede, which was 60 points, has gone up 10 points to 70 points. So in total, you're probably looking at a list that's maybe 80, maybe 100 points.
Mine's gone up 90 points.
So what do you lose?
The most important thing that you've lost in this edition is the volume of command points you can start with.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's
that was
biggest
always
hit
the
to
biggest
Flesh-Eater
thing.
Corpse.
Yeah.
So that's the question I would raise here is, what have they then lost because of those points increases? Have they lost their command points?
So
Is that what they've lost? Because did they buy command points?
So they
can only buy one anyway.
But when you had your
they can start turn 1 with 3 command
And
points.
the battalion's gone up as well.
I haven't seen. I haven't written that down.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I made a
challenge
mistake.
so the question is what the list that I always played was the same.
2 dragons.
Two dragons, Ghoul Patrol. What is that list now viable, or have they lost so much so they now can't take another
Still
dragon?
viable.
What have you lost though?
Spell.
An endless spell.
Yeah.
Elmbirds has made a point.
I think
again, if you bump up all the
I've
small
never
unit
used
costs,
it.
that one unit that goes insane from both of us isn't worth that much on its own. And I won't disagree. The thing about the Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, when you're talking about it in its points cost and its ability in game, is what it can do in a turn is delete most of an army.
Yeah.
Like I've seen one quite comfortably go through 500 points of my army in a round of combat.
I get that. I get that. My point I'm trying to make is right. So you've got the Ghoul Patrol list, which is sort of like the min max dragons, 3 dragons, Ghoul Patrol.
Done.
You min max in the 2 characters. What with these points increases changes, and my question I don't feel I've had answered yet is what do you've got? You say like you're losing 120 points. What do you then lose as a result of that? Do you lose 1 archery?
I think you
about 10 ghouls.
You might, but you
No,
might.
but isn't that minimum core?
I reckon. No, he's right. Mark, I reckon you probably lose. Like, it depends because there were variations on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with a lot of people discussing different lists. And I think you probably lose an Arc Regent. Yeah, I think there's still one in there.
Yeah.
And the point, guys in the chat are saying, right, it's like there's those minimal changes might make enough of a difference because maybe you're not getting running charge as reliably anymore, and because Crystal Gore always strikes first, only if you charge now, maybe that's a big deal. And you're right, maybe we've got to put those lists together. Maybe a 50-point change is what isn't though is that 420-point model can run itself. Yeah. Because that can just be an ability it takes. It can just have that spell.
See, I think
then it can spend its command point twice, and that's just free. So we're not having anything else happen, and it can do 820 points worth of damage.
No,
and
more
again,
than that.
again, if it was 420 points of output, but it's one of the most destructive units in the game. And it just does it with a command point.
So my question is like, you go back to that point, you probably lose an Arch Region. If the points change, edit it so much so where actually the only option you've got is to lose the second dragon, then you've only got 1 dragon to deal with. And at that point, I'm not as fussed about it. What really gets my goat is that you've got to fight 2 of these fuckers.
Because basically with the Flesh-Eater Courts, a lot of the basic builds, people are taking the Arch Regent or maybe a Ghoul King as well, and they're going right. I'm going to put plus D3. +1 onto that 1 dragon, and then
you push it forward, and then you go. It's going to die, but I don't care because it's going to delete enough for the other ones just to mop up.
Yeah, because
you've got to put your
the Arch Regent.
But then is it now to the point of it doesn't? It's an open question. I don't know the answer. It's more of a like actually does it?
And I do agree with you. The incremental change is that going to be enough? I would personally argue that the incremental change, based on like what they were doing beforehand, is the loss of a single unit going to be enough to change them up? And like Haywo says in the chat, sometimes a minor change will domino effect and ruin everything, and you can't build a good list anymore like Nagash.
Yes.
Absolutely, but I just don't think you're still going to stop that negative play experience of a monster eating an army. That's what it's going to do.
No, I think
I don't have as much of a problem with one of those. I have an issue with two of them.
Okay.
my theory is a lot of people are going to look at it and go, right, I need to keep the Archregent in. I'll just have 2 Archregents now instead of the second Terrorgeist to make sure that I can make that Terrorgeist devastating. And that's fine, but then if you come up against some of the Sylvaneth, the bull thing, or just hitting it first, it'll kill whatever when it dies, but then that's it. It's one model. And like you say, I think you'll lose the duo. I mean, I've got a stupid list where I take 5, and I can still take fucking 5. But I lose my Ghoul King. Now, that, to me, makes my list really fucking difficult to try and claim objectives. But it was a fluff list anyway. But I think you'll lose the second dragon. You'll keep 2 Archregents, basically. Because you've got 40 ghouls there.
I then don't have much of an issue with that.
I think that's what people will do. 40 ghouls, 4 spells instead of 2 dragons.
I personally still think it's going to be bent as hell. But I'm hoping it's the shooting that's going to fix it, not anything else.
Yeah.
Or the Iron Jaws. No, not really. But I still think it's bent as hell. And the final changes. Yeah, that's my thoughts. We've all had a what we think, and the Twitch chat have had theirs. The final, there's been changes to the Gloomspite Gitz. All right. So the stabbers, the shooters, have gone down by 10 points. They were 130. It's now 120 points for 20 shooters. The Dankhold Trog boss, the hero of the storm.
Oh,
yeah. So
legend.
he's if you're talking,
never even played against it.
I have. I love him.
So
but
same
he's
price as a
short.
Vermin Lord now. Yeah. Doesn't move as fast, doesn't have as many wounds, doesn't have a good a save, doesn't cast any spells, but 270 points.
It can stop an endless spell, potentially, on a 4.
And can sometimes heal do 3 wounds.
Yeah.
But big shout out to Trog.
Trog's a lead. So when I played the doubles, there was a guy, we played, me and Part, and he had Dankhold boss, and Trog himself was on the table next to him. I went, Trog, watch this. I chucked my Terrorgeist at it and said, do I need to fight that one first or the other one? And he was like, oh, has it got this thing on it? I was like, no. Okay, I'll kill that then. So I just nuked it by an extra 10 wounds.
It's not enough and it's pretty crap. I love you, Trog.
I love it, but it should be like...
Moonboss or Mangler Squig, pleasant surprise, just went down 20 points.
Nice.
That's all right. That's not bad. You saw that running lists fairly. It was pretty. If you wanted to run Squigs, you pretty much had to run the Mangler.
And he looks cool.
Yeah.
It does look cool.
I like him. I think he's...
However, a big shout. Web Spinner Shaman on the Ragnarok Spider went down by 20 points from 300 to 280, and it should not have, because it's great. Like, it's really good. And then the Ragnarok Spider with Finger went down by 250 points, no one cares. The Ragnarok Spider with Spider-Man Warpie went down by 20 points, also from 250 to 230, no one cares. And then Skitstrand Ragnarok went down by 20 points, also. I don't think anyone in the whole wide world will care. However, the thing that is important is the Web Spinner Shaman and Ragnarok Spider went down by 20 points, which is pretty devastating.
Again, it's what I look at, again, a bit like the other one, is when you start reducing points, have you reduced them enough to gain any significant benefit? And is it an empty gesture? And it's a bit like, I don't know, last time we talked about it.
The Moon Boss on Mangler Squigs is a 20 point. The Dankhold Trog boss is like a pity gesture, right? We put you down 30 points when really it's like a 140 point model.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it sucks.
So I look at it. I'm just trying to get the numbers right without ignore the numbers for the time being. So I remember when Iron Jaws first came out, they were talking about each unit of brutes were 180 and the Gore Grunters were 180. So each unit was 180.
Yeah.
So at the point you reduced them all by 20 points, it still didn't reduce it enough to buy another unit of 5.
Yeah.
So if you reduced it by that, it was an empty gesture because it didn't give you anything bonus. It was just like, oh, we'll reduce it. Oh, I've got 60 more points. What do you spend those 60 points on?
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, great. And so that's why that's why I go back to these ones.
I mean,
a bit like the increases. Do they do enough? Like my core list hasn't changed, even though it's had which significance.
What about the spells?
Hold on. Yeah,
just
so
thinking with
there's
your
still. No, I think you're right.
I jumped the gun. Sorry.
No, I think those are empty gestures. I agree, absolutely. But I think that the Web Spinner Shaman on Ragnarok Spider was already a good build. Like, I think it's already a thing. Nathan's written me a list, actually, which I'm going to put up on the Wargame website, which is all, like, web spinners, and it's really good. So then the Gobbapalooza went down 20 points. The Gobbapalooza.
Which one's that?
So that's when you have to buy a collection of little miniatures.
They're cool.
They are very cool.
I love them.
They've gone down by 40 points from 240 to 200, so a pretty big change. However, still
because they weren't characters, were they?
Some of them
are.
One of them is.
But they all got the -1 if you were. As a rule.
Yeah.
I thought they had -2, and I looked at them and was like, ooh.
These are going to be good. No.
I think they're 3 wounds each, aren't they? I thought they were really cool. But...
However, some big changes. The Dankhold Troggoths went down by 20 points. The Fellwater Troggoths. So that's not a big deal, realistically, because I still don't think they're great. But where it does start to be pretty impactful, in my opinion, is the Fellwater and the Rockgut Troggoths. Because the Fellwater Troggoths have gone down by 10 points from 160 to 150, which I know is not a lot, but you can it's 150 points for 3 trolls, and you can, the more you take, you're going to keep saving points. And on the Rockguts, they've gone from 160 to 140.
That's
so 140 for 3 Rockguts, and you can keep taking them.
So how many? Again, I'll go back to that point. You can do you can sit there and do the maths on that. If you had an army like it, how does it allow you to have another extra 6 trolls in your army?
It lets you have at least another 3, maybe another 6 trolls, which is not bad. Like,
especially
again, trolls weren't really exactly smashing up the world.
No. But it's a whole troll army. It'll do quite a lot.
However, this is my favourite. We wrote these rules in January update. Mork's Mighty Mushroom has gone up 10 points from 80 to 90. And from everything I've ever heard from a Gitz player, they're like, nah, I'm not into that. That sucks. Like, initially it sounds good on paper, but no, we're not about this. It works out as another 6 Rockguts for a Grot army, says Malakry. FYI, so thank you for doing that.
Bad.
And difference is for my Gloomspite, the 30 points would let me swap 6 squigs to 20 more shooters from my battle line, so it's useful, which is good because there's a lot of micromanagement, I think, with the points in those Gitz armies.
There's a lot of units.
Because I felt because I've got a Grot army, and when the book came out, I was like, I look at this and I was building some squig armies and stuff like that because I love squigs. But actually, when you look at it, you don't get many models. It's all quite expensive.
However, Scrap Scuttle's Arachna Cauldron has gone down by 10 points. It was 50, it's gone down to 40, and that's an amazing thing, especially as you can include it as an ally, and then you can have access to the lore of Gitz in what you need to make those ever as deadly Gutbusters and everyone else. So that is everything apart from the final piece, the core rules that I said we'd talk about.
Yeah.
Point changes all over, pretty nominal, not a big deal.
I mean, it'd still be nice
I'm
to
not
find
blown away
out
by
the
it.
The Sonesh one.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that another time because we don't have it, so I'm so sorry. So the core rules, I have to read these out because the core rules changes, and then this is the last thing we're going to do. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you to Yufu being here. You guys have been wonderful. Yeah, Yufu.
Yufu. Is that his new name after he's bringing in Chinese mid-show?
You just made me remind about the awful Chinese.
Well, it's sat in front of you.
So sorry.
It's awful.
If anyone would like to donate
It
Mark
was
a nice dinner, let us
£7.
know.
I might actually formally complain.
Okay,
it's
so
awful.
the first core rule change.
Yes.
Are we talking about Warhammer now?
Yeah, we're talking about it. Sometimes a keyword will be listed in its singular form in one place, and its plural form in another. Are the plural and singular forms both considered to be different keywords? For example, are bloodletter keyword and the bloodletters keyword different keywords?
No?
Correct. But I do worry that they haven't thought that through, and somewhere, because there's a lot of rules, that's going to fuck something up.
Yeah.
I wrote that in my notes. I was like, they need to read more. Follow up. When a characteristic... that's fine. That seems to be a clarification, but I imagine it's not, and something will come up.
That's a clarification needed, but the nerds needed that, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's a bloodletters keyword, not a bloodletter keyword.
When a characteristic... please don't. Let's never go back to bold and italics. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Let's never talk about that again. When a characteristic is referenced, bravery, for example, does this mean the value of the war scroll or the value on the war scroll including any modifiers? The value including any modifiers. Can modifiers reduce a characteristic to less than 0? Answer, yes. Legion of Grief players.
Ooh.
A lot of them were like, again, blanket rule was minimum attacks of 1.
Yeah.
That was very common.
Normally you could reduce to a minimum of 1, but there's never been anything saying you can't have 0. So you can now reduce characteristics to 0 or below.
Minus.
Wow. So does that mean if
Minus
you've got
bravery.
Oh, right, okay. So if it's like my -1 attack, do you have to then hit yourself?
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping. Yeah, that'd be great. And then, so they're pretty fine, right?
yeah.
Okay. The ones that aren't fine.
You wait till the end to just fry our brains.
For some reason, if an ability stops a unit that can fly from being able to fly, can it move at all? Yes. Who asked that? Well, you can't fly, so...
It's only got wings.
I'm glad they're answering those questions and not the questions that I sent in for the Beast book that never got answered.
Hey,
that needed answering.
I sent one for the Legion of Grief.
Right, are
because
you ready?
it was a 90,
Doesn't
90
exist.
tweet version.
Doesn't exist.
Well, it half exists.
Legion of Grief doesn't exist. We know
Right,
this.
The units do, but the book
sorry, it's an entire faction of its own. So, are you ready? Fuck, this is serious. So here we go. For the final bit. Right. Some abilities say that a unit fights at the start of the combat phase. What happens if that unit is not within 3 inches of the enemy, but later in the phase, an enemy unit piles into within 3 inches of it?
Oh, this was the Gristagor thing, isn't it?
No, this is in
No,
the
yeah,
general
I get it,
rules.
yeah, okay,
This
I
is
get
the
it.
core rules.
So what happens? It can just activate within 3 because it's enemies within 3.
A unit can fight at the start of the combat phase, but does not do so, is allowed to fight normally during the combat phase should an enemy move within 3 inches of it. So you can't lock something out of its phase.
Yeah.
Next up, some abilities are used when a model or unit has fought for the first time to allow that unit to fight again. Does this only apply if the unit fought for the first time during the phase, or does it also apply if the unit fought for the first time at the start or the end of the phase, or if it's allowed to fight when it is slain?
See, I got about halfway through that and went, what?
Basically, what it's saying is if something can attack again, and it's already fought at a different time, can it attack again? Even if you move its priority in the order.
No for Khorne, but yes for Feck.
Correct. It always applies, even if the first time it fights is at the start or at the end of the phase, or when it was slain. Note, if several abilities allow a unit to fight again after it has fought for the first time, each of those abilities must be carried out one after the other.
Except for Khorne.
Or, no, apart from... No, for Khorne, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Flesh Eater, Courts, and Skaven, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each of those abilities must be carried out one after the other. This means that only the first of those abilities will be qualified as happening after the other unit is fought for the first time, because after the first of those abilities is used, the unit will then have fought more than once. Therefore, the remaining abilities could not be used. So that applies to everyone apart from Flesh Eater, Courts, and Skaven.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was.
And you whatever. Mark's giving the whatever symbol. It's not vocal.
I'll give the happy symbol.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Great. For me.
I genuinely switched off.
So I'm going to... I'm sorry.
No, not because of you. I was just like...
It was a weird, long
I'm like...
Wait, you think that one's long? Oh, baby.
Oh, no.
Genuinely...
We'll do a couple of quickies, yeah? A couple of quickies to clean the palette.
Yes.
Right?
A palette cleanser.
Is there a difference between abilities that apply in the combat phase or those that apply until the end of the combat phase?
Yes.
No, the phrases are synonymous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that they're going to regret that one. That's going to be one of those... I'm going to go find something. Yeah, can a model has an ability that allows it to pile in an attack when it dies, still use its ability if the unit is if the unit it is part of has to fight at the end of the combat phase.
Okay, so if it's died, it's got always strikes last, and then it dies.
Yeah.
Well,
Does it fight straight away, or does it fight at the end of the phase?
Yeah.
it would fight because it's a different
Depends what the
ability.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, see?
answer yes to what. There was 2 questions in there.
So, no, can the model that has an ability that allows it to pile in and attack when it dies? So, play monks. Got Death Thrones on.
Yeah.
Yeah? But I've made it always strikes last.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, I attack it and I kill it.
Yeah.
Does it attack immediately or does it happen at the end of the phase?
Immediately.
Immediately is the answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? Weird. Is there a difference between... Oh, we've done that one.
It's a good FAQ. I mean, whether or not I agree.
That particular... No, it's not a good FAQ.
Yeah.
They
It's an
did
FAQ
it well.
that was needed. Whether or not
Yeah.
it was the right answer.
Yeah. If I have a unit engaged...
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it
thank you.
already.
Engaged with an enemy unit that cannot fight until the end of the combat phase, so it's fine at the end. My opponent has activated all his other units and I have activated all of mine, but I have a command ability that allows a friendly unit to pile in and attack again. Can I use that command ability before the enemy unit fights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
The main part of the combat phase only ends when both players pass in succession. See page 5 of the core rules. Apparently, we pass at the end now. Oh, Elka Reb, thanks for subscribing. Love you loads. So, the long one.
Oh no.
Yeah?
Oh no.
So
I thought...
sorry, that last one just answered a question that didn't need answering.
Correct.
Yeah. You needed cleansing after that one.
Here we go. This is the one, everyone. This is fucking brilliant.
Do we need Nathan with his trigonometry again?
Trigonometry. Get ready. Let's say Unit A. You guys might want to get some sort of physical...
Give us this bottle. Give us your bottle.
Use your Chinese.
You can have the shit
right,
Chinese.
So let's say
Let's
say the Chinese box that we've
Unit A.
got has been made to fight at the end of the combat phase.
So it's turning backwards. So, yeah.
Okay, it's weird that that's
Backwards.
I don't know. Literally.
Anyway,
Simon
so it's
Sharp.
been made to fight at the end of the combat phase. If when Unit A, so the Chinese, fights at the end of the combat phase,
Box.
its
I
piling
go
move,
box because it's going to get
Hold on.
bad soon.
its pile-in move results in Unit B, the bottle, being eligible to fight when previously it wasn't. Because Unit B, the bottle, was outside of 3 inches. Can Unit B now pile in and attack?
Yes.
If it's outside of 3, no.
No, but that's not what he's saying. What he's saying. So I've got my bloodletters here.
Yeah.
Right, end of the combat phase, and I want to fight twice with this bloodletter unit.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
Then I pile in with this bloodletter unit to a unit that's maybe here or whatever, and it piles in that way to that unit.
Catches it.
And catches it and puts her. So
But that happened at the end of the combat phase.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that unit was made to strike last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then
So that's the situation we're in. So the question is can the bottle attack the Chinese takeaway?
I mean, yes, because originally that wasn't in the combat phase, and it's only by this that it was drawn in.
Yeah, but that
so
was
then
the
that
end.
now becomes it stops it being the end.
Okay, so let's see what the answer is. Are you guys excited?
Because you've done that a few times before, where on the last fight you
I've done that.
And it did actually say, it says later on in this FAQ, that until both players pass, you can continue fighting. Correct?
So that should be.
So it should be yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
No, it should be yes.
The answer is
Them
should be
eyes.
yes. Let's find out if this answer means anything at all. If Unit A, so the Chinese,
Attacks the paper.
is from the army of the player whose turn is taking place.
Oh my
you
God.
weren't expecting that, were you? You were not expecting that. You didn't think that would come into it at all. That is left field as fuck.
So it's the Chinese's turn.
Hold on.
No,
Don't worry. Don't worry. I've got you. If Unit A is from the army whose player's turn is taking place, so this is Mark currently, then Unit B will be able to fight as its opportunity to fight comes after that of Unit A and will be eligible to fight because it's within 3 inches of the enemy. So exactly like Mark said.
All right. Okay. I got this. Yeah. I see
If, on the other hand,
Da-da-da.
it's Speckles' turn with the water bottle. If, on the other hand, Unit A is part of the army belonging to the player whose turn is not taking place.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, in your turn, Speckles. Yeah. Unit B will not be able to fight, so the water bottle cannot fight, as its opportunity to fight came before that of Unit A when it was not within 3 inches of the enemy, obviously.
Okay, I get that.
I get it, but just what the fuck? Why?
Here's my response.
Please, give me the response.
Right, it's obviously they're trying to do a blanket response to a very specific scenario.
It is.
Yeah.
So my blanket response to these very specific scenarios is just fuck off with this always strikes first. That is how you solve it. You kind of got you've got this cup of blood and water in a cup, and you're going, I really want the water. How do I get the blood out? Oh, we're going to try and mix it up even more, and eventually the water might come out, and we can drink the water. Just tip everything away and refill the cup with water. There, your problem is solved.
I agree. My other thoughts are, I have a car outside, and if we drive it to 88 miles per hour, we could go back in time and change the life of one particularly lucky lady who may or may not then give birth to some of these rules writers.
Wow, you just escalated the fuck out of that. We just need to get rid of this always strikes first. That is how you solve it. It's just an absolute clusterfuck of rules that they've lost control over.
No,
they have.
No.
Bullshit.
The answer to this is that there are several different answers.
Yes.
And that's what's important, right?
And every answer is equal.
That allows me to do one of two things
with
my opponent. I can just say, fancy you let me fight, and my opponent can go, oh, which rule do you want to pick? I'm like, whichever is best for me, and they'll go, sweet. So it's easy.
Would you like to fight me?
So
I would not.
That is the final bit, and I did tell you it'd be a doozy to round off the show.
That fucking opponent thing.
That's exciting, right? The Chinese in the water bowl. Who would have thought it?
Right, I went to Lily's. Don't anybody ever go there again.
It's next to Bar 11, where
this is
awful.
Our it is located. Truly shocking.
Portgate, absolutely. This is the one that Slaanesh causes. This is a Slaanesh issue.
Yeah.
Because what it effectively allows Slaanesh to do is they can make you strike last, and they can make it so you can't play.
Yeah.
But this now overrides that, so they can't use their ability.
Only in their fate, on their turn.
Yes. It's an advantage. Yes.
Is it the other way around?
Night Warhammer Nerd.
It's got to be only in their fate.
Listen, I'm going to do a flow chart because I won't lie to you. The words aren't helpful at this stage. We need a picture, and it's going to be fun. A little bit of a demo. A little bit of a.
Hold on.
A bit of an image.
Are you admitting pictures are better than words, like terrain dice?
No.
Yes, that's what you've just done. You said pictures are better than words.
I would never admit
that's
that.
it. And Nathan, if you ever watch this, in the next, whenever you ever decide to watch it,
Who, Nathan?
he admits it. Yeah.
No way, Nathan.
He admitted it.
Listen, we have found out in this episode that Rob is a Tory. Because he's a massive hypocrite.
Eat the rich.
Claims
also punch the Nazis. Right, so that one's for Joe Pagano. Also Jacob Berry, miss you too. Listen, overall, because it's been a while and I want you guys to be able to go home, I just want to say a massive thank you to you two. But overall, how do you guys think they've done? Because what's exciting now, because you've listened through all the shit, if you're still listening, yeah, and the game
like
is...
3 listeners.
What? There's still like up to 150 people watching.
I can remember when the General's Handbook came out, like the first 2, everyone was like proper hyped by it, excited by the changes, the points changes. This is really, really cool. I just like, oh, okay, you've kind of, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm very waiting to talk.
I'm listening.
He's waiting to talk. He has to bite something so his mouth doesn't work.
Please keep informing me of your opinion. I'm very interested.
I really want your opinion.
I do.
It just doesn't, it doesn't excite me. The change. There's no new scenarios. I know they've tweaked the scenarios, but should they have focused on maybe writing some more? I'm not blown away by the whole General's Handbook, the new FAQs. There's nothing exciting. There's a few tweaks. I mean, is it arrogant of them to say we only needed to do a few tweaks because the game was in a really good position? No.
Spec, what's your thoughts?
It's pretty similar. The handbooks, scenarios. I'll wait for the stickers because stickers are awesome, Mark. It's not.
Take something off there.
It's really not done much to my stuff. I don't think it's done
Which
much.
we really wanted it to, Speckles, I won't lie to you.
But it's also not really affected anything else. And we still don't even know what Slaanesh can do. So, yet again, I think we're still waiting. Unless anybody in the Twitch chat can speak or read Japanese. Would be great.
Yeah. We haven't actually touched on Slaanesh.
Because obviously, I mean, in my opinion, the humble feck player with the fluffy people, I think Slaanesh is definitely going to be an overall powerhouse for the next year.
So yeah, we saw Slaanesh actually at the SHGT. I think 6 out of the 10 armies was Slaanesh. And the issue is
6 out of the 10 armies.
6 out of the top 10.
Okay,
was Slaanesh.
I think there's that balance between people don't know how to fight against it, and have to change.
Well, you can't. You can't fight against it because you're not allowed to fight against it.
Well, no, because they can stop you doing abilities and spells and everything else as well.
They're a solid army.
Really powerful.
Like potentially the strongest army in comparison with in balance with Skaven. I think Flesh Eater Corpse is uninteractive. I don't think it's the strongest. I think it's actually manageable. Like we've talked about, I actually think Flesh Eater Corpse is manageable, but not by like a huge portion of the armies. It's just it's countered.
There's a way
by Skaven. It's countered by Slanesh,
Fire Slayers,
and Fire Slayers as well.
Khorne.
But it isn't not Khorne. It's not countered by Khorne. Khorne beat the fuck out of Flesh Eater Corpse all the time, in my opinion. Mark?
Khorne beat the fuck out of Flesh Eater Corpse every time. That's what we've just said.
No, sorry. Flesh Eater Corpse beat the fuck out of Khorne all the time.
No.
I play Mark and list. I can beat it.
All right, okay. Right, that's nice.
But,
That's good.
but I wouldn't class the problem. You're then going into realms of I'm using Archaeon, which isn't in the Khorne book.
Yeah, there are a few out there that can mess feck up, and obviously the shooting army, the KO would decimate him. I've played many times, brought the army on. Your whole army's dead. Carry on. But I think without knowing what happened to Slanesh...
No, nothing apparently. It's not being updated till December.
What?
So that's what guys in the chat just let us know. So that's good, so we can round it off. So Slanesh...
Slanesh are the winners.
These, so like, we're going to look at it as a grand... This is my favourite type of the game, by the way. I like top-down. Like, it's my favourite. Like, I love meta games. Like, 'cause it's really exciting because, like, while you got the intrinsic tabletop, like, variance, which is hugely fun, there's a kind of great kind of conversation about meta balance, right? And Slanesh are incredible at combat. Yeah? Flesh Eater Corpse are incredible at combat. And also Skaven are incredible at combat. So you have to ask yourself, if you build an army, can you survive Slanesh army hitting you first? Probably not. No. Can you survive killing something, or can you trade cheap enough with Plague Monks? Probably not. Yeah. And can you survive a Terrorgeist or get it before it gets you? Yeah. Probably not. Yeah. So great. So the answer is to not fight them. Yeah, or play one of them 3 armies and get involved in the game. Idneth can do it quite well, right? Eels are pretty solid. God bless Eels. Yeah, they can go do some work. So you've got that as a conversation, but you really need to start looking at... Gitz can do a bunch of other spells. They can do a bunch of... They can also make you strike last. They can play the game. Yeah. Tzeentch and Beast of Chaos can make you strike last as well. There's actually... You can take Tzeentch with the Wildfire Taurus.
Of course.
Yeah, so there are access. Chaos have got access. Order's in a tough spot, realistically. And Death can
apart from Deepkin.
Well, yeah, but Death can recycle units. Yeah. So you need to ask yourself, like now, this General Handbook, this edition, this game, not look at the scenarios and say, how can I play them? But also, how can I fight them? And the answer is, you can't fight those armies. You got to shoot those armies. You can't fight them.
Shoot or magic.
Shoot or magic. Yeah, ranged threat. Yeah. You need range potential to take them out. Yeah, chaff, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, block them up. And I know that's easier said than done. I'm just some dickhead on the internet saying something. Yeah,
and it's been that way for a long time as well.
Yeah, but they just hasn't been, like, people just haven't committed to it.
Other than shoot cash, you don't really see it.
To be fair, it's made me go back to my Tzeentch with 9 Skyfires. The more we talk now, I'm like, what can I build up around 9 Skyfires? Because that gives the shooting wound, the mortal out, more wounds, and like kind of that whole, I've got 6 Destiny dice.
I'm going to take out that.
It's 3 Destiny dice on 6s. There's me 3d3 mortal wounds, potentially 9 mortal wounds, plus everything else. Yeah. It makes me think it makes me think whether or not I need to go down that route now, which is fine. Which is cool. I like. Yeah,
and unfortunately, it's an incredibly uninteractive part of the game. Shooting. Realistically, any range damages.
I don't like it.
It's not fun, but then they made the combat phase not that fun either. Yeah. So that's not true though, because actually I think there's a kind of fun interplay when you see it actually happening. And the game is more complicated than it was. We're past the age of innocence where it was kind of a fun game where Mark would shout, "It's 4 fucking pages, dickhead." Yeah. We're way past that.
It's fluffy.
Was it alright when it was 4 pages?
Huh?
I mean, we had those
Ripperdactyls. It was alright.
Yeah.
It was alright. Yeah.
I still took the flesh.
I think we should end on that note.
I still took the Flesh Eater Corpse.
The key point is, as much as like they haven't done a particularly good job with the GHB, the game is still a pretty solid game. It's pretty fun. You just have to. You can't just. You have to listen to shows like this and other shows and other people's opinions, and you have to get and read the list on the Honest Wargamer website. You have to do those things and to make yourself aware of what's going to happen. Because you can't walk into a game and go, "Oh, I reckon I'll charge that Keeper of Secrets." Like, no. He's going to
Don't do that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the game's like a little bit more like Razor Edge, where if you don't come with the tools prepared to deal with the issues. But what's nice is they haven't changed the issues.
You just know these.
Which isn't great. Like, I'd prefer to them have changed the fucking horrible issues.
You know what the issues are.
You know what the issues are, so you can try. And some of the armies can't, obviously. Gutbusters, as deadly as they ever were. But that doesn't stop people. Like I look at Simon Froley this weekend, who took flagellants. They are called devoted to Sigmar.
Yeah.
Took it to SCGT.
I saw that picture.
But then over in Australia, so's Ash McEwen. Yeah, he's running them. And I know for a fact Gemma from the Failed Charge is building Tamron Khan's Horde because you know what? They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't care. Like, and Mark, you didn't care. Listen, the worst critic of the Beast of Chaos book in the world is Mark Wildman. Yeah, and the person who wrote the list that's the only list to ever podium with Beast of Chaos is Mark Wildman. So Mark Wildman literally told himself to fuck himself, yeah, about his own book, yeah, and then ended up having it do well at an event. So, like, it's an amazing game because even though the stuff is stupid, like, we still...
People are awesome.
People are awesome.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember? Do you ever watch Top Gear?
No.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy,
I'm not old.
You know, but Jerry Clarkson, when he does his reviews on cars, they do that whole like they start the review off really good or really bad, but actually they do their outcome is the opposite. They flip it, so they'll go, "This car is the best car ever. It does this and this," but then at the end of it, they're like, "But it's really crap." Yeah. That's kind of what we've done today.
Yeah.
We've hammered away at it.
No, because it doesn't actually matter what Games Workshop do. Those are my thoughts. That's not true. There'll be a red line, and third edition Malifaux's right there apparently, according to Jonathan Allen. But my point is, there'll be a red line for them when they fuck stuff up too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the minute they're just making money hand over fist.
So they're doing something right.
So they think they're doing great. Yeah. So it's down to us as a community not to hate each other. Yeah. Hate the rules. Tell them to fuck off. Yeah. But also play the game.
Have fun.
Have fun. I think. And I don't think that this is a good FAQ. I think this is dumb as fuck. And I think some of it contradicts itself and it's stupid.
Yeah.
Right? So I just want that clear. Yeah.
I think, even me, I think the Flesh Eater Courts could have done with a bit more of a change.
Cool story, bro. I think we've covered that
He's
bit.
been mean to you all day show, hasn't he?
It's because he's Beast Boy, isn't he?
Beast
turns
Boy.
into a fucking green bull, and that's it. It just waddles around.
FYI, I'm horrible to people I like, so just take that for what it is.
But he loves you, Rob. He loves you.
Love you, Rob. You're my favourite friend of all.
He's going to teach me to
Sorry
paint.
for coughing into.
am
James
gonna
also
see
says,
you
I played
officer.
Darling Coven some weeks ago. I really like the simplicity. Next game with Skaven was like playing a different game. That's 100% true. And then Scrivo says, oh fuck, that means Wildman likes me. It's not something to shout about. It's only when Dave Fraser likes you, you know you made it. So I should be selling my old faux stuff now. Thanks for the heads up. No problem, Dave. My pleasure.
Hang on. Go back to
I'm not going to
Scrivo.
go back. No. Scrivo, big love to you.
He's
You're
meant to be
wonderful.
he's meant to be doing me.
Doing
what?
you. Yeah, doing you as a... Yeah.
He's meant to be doing me as an image. He's not
He
done
is.
it yet.
Well, he's got
Is
lots
he
to do. He's a
working on
busy
it?
boy. He's doing maps because I don't know if you've read the General's Handbook. None of the fucking maps make sense. The objectives are everywhere. It's stupid.
I love
Have
it.
you looked at the maps?
We're getting stickers.
Have you looked at the
I
maps?
love it. I love it where they just throw dice and like, where's the? It's like playing 40k. Where do you want that objective?
However, it doesn't fucking matter. The community is so alive, right, at the minute, I think. And events are cool, and I don't give a shit. I'm going to have a great year. I'm going to play some Zinch. I'm going to trigger some people.
I'm thinking of taking Deets to face
Have I got to beat the
Why are you always
Perrier?
copying me? Do
Excuse
you remember that time
me.
you copied me when you took Tomb Kings and I was running Tomb Kings?
I'm going to have to beat the Perrier with my Flesh Eater Courts. What?
Well, you're gonna
I'm
what?
going to beat the Perrier with my Flesh Eater Courts.
No, I'm afraid they've had points changes, so you're basically not very good anymore.
Oh, you think that's why I'm not very good? Oh, is that what it was?
This is too
Right,
cute.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in because it's been a super long show and loads of people have been with us for the whole. You guys are wicked.
Thank you.
You guys got any final thoughts before we head off?
I need
I need a poo.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pee.
That's gross.
I'll clap your hand now. I'm not after.
Can we make Rob listen to his shows 18 months ago talking about Zinch? We can. But the thing is about making something. So, that's my key takeaway. The thing I haven't talked about actually. Final point.
Yeah, hurry up.
Yeah, make your games with your opponent interactive. Like understand that while there are tournaments with prizes, none of us play this professionally yet. Like when it becomes a sport, maybe.
I'll be there.
Yeah, but right now none of us do. So make the games enjoyable for your opponent. And I know that sounds like, oh, why do I want to do that? You can still win. Yeah. But make sure that they understand. Make sure that they understand because if your rules are bent, Skaven, your rules are bent. If you're playing Skaven, explain the fuck out of it to your opponent. Yeah,
Don't
just so we
attack
understand.
that. Don't. Well,
Do you know, this is the difference I have when I go to the independent scene and when I go to the heats. Is that the independent scene? We kind of have a degree of social contract where, like, I do this do you know what? If you do that, that'll happen.
This is going to happen.
This is going to happen. Just so you know, you've not read my complex rule book inside out. So I'm going to. I mean, I do this. If you do this, my options are this and this. Just so you know. Table 1, table 100. Don't give a shit. Go to the heats. Don't get that.
No. Like my Guardian of Souls. The amount of times I've gone, if you get within that 9, you've only got 1 dice charge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's specifically it's designed as a trap. But I'll tell everyone, and they'll go.
Doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Well, it doesn't matter anymore now.
Yeah. And also, let's
fucking fake dwarves get it, but I can't use that.
Let's also be conscious of our own army levels, right? Like, if we've got really bent armies, just be conscious of it. Don't apologise for it. Yeah, don't do that.
Never apologise for it.
Never apologise for it. Just get involved and just say, I've got really bent shit. You'd be like, sweet. You'd be like, let's go have fun. That's important, right? Because we want to keep people in our hobby, and or the people are the best bit.
Just bring a portion of chips, and they can pour all the salt on it.
That's fun.
On that note.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh my God, are we still going on?
No, we are. I just wanted to say thank you, Blink. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
I think probably the key takeaway.
I'd love to look at the chat.
The key takeaway is that.
So I can
All right,
engage
next time I'll set the chat up for you guys.
We'd like to see it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Is that a complaint? All right. Done.
Yes.
Done. I'll set the chat up for you guys next time.
Because you've got 2 laptops. You could like dual look at them.
But he's got them 3 behind him as well.
Right. Okay. Anyway, thank you to everyone on Patreon. Help us do the show. Thank you to everyone on Twitch. Thank you to everyone who subscribes on YouTube or anything. If you really liked it, or podcasters, make sure to stay hydrated. If you really liked it, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and share it with your friends. That's important as well. So you guys are wicked. So key takeaway from the General's Handbook. Would you say that everything is just as deadly as ever?
Yes.